That's all. If you add a new audio source, no. If you guys can hear us, put a 1 in the chat. There you go. It's working. There you go.
It's working.
They say it's working.
Yeah, it's working.
There you go. We back. Everybody putting a 1. We good. And your mic sound extra crispy. Yeah, you good. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Well, I mean,
now, everybody good. Yeah, no, everybody say you good.
No, they say they can't hear P-Rock.
Can't hear P-Rock. So what's the? They say can't hear Dad. Yeah. That's crazy. Okay, so we can hear you. So that's not a Discord thing. That's They say Daddy Rock on mute. Man.
Let's see now.
All right. Can y'all?
How about now?
Can y'all hear it now?
Y'all can hear me now? Y'all should hear me now.
Can y'all hear P-Rock? Put a 1 if you can hear P-Rock. Say some Rock. They can hear you now, Puerto Rock.
Yeah, so this is the fun y'all have on PC gaming? Well, it might be loud.
Facts. Listen, $5,000 PC and Puerto Rock can't even get y'all to hear him.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? This is all the fun you guys have on PC gaming. That you
$2,500 GPU Puerto Rock, and you can't even get people to hear you?
They consider this fun. This is what y'all call this fun, bro? Yeah. Like, yo, that shit is crazy, bro.
You stupid console gamers don't get to tinker like we do.
Hold on. All right. Hey,
tinker these nuts.
All right, so Jay, continue your conversation. I'm listening and I'm making double sure that the podcast sounds right on the phone and stuff like that, right? So I'm not ignoring you, but continue the conversation.
Yeah. So today I saw on Twitter there was this guy, his wife, his kid, and his mother. And they were all packing in the car about to go somewhere. And the question was, who sits in the passenger seat, the mom or the wife? And for me, I mean, it's just nature, because I was raised with a mom and dad, traditional household, how things supposed to go. But I looked in the thread and I was shocked by so many people giving a different answer than what I gave. And I was like, just by standard, your mother sits in the back with the kids. Your wife is always going to sit up front. You guys are married. You took on as a wife. Y'all a family unit. She's number one.
Now they're saying everybody's low. They said it's low volume overall now.
I'm fixing that. I'm fixing that.
Okay.
I got that.
Anyway, they can hear us, but you work on it. Anyway, see this, even in the chat right now, there's some division. Navenza said, "Mama got to sit up front."
Why?
But listen, I don't know. I get maybe there's not a right and wrong answer depending on how you was raised and stuff like that. Yeah. But my dad would kick my ass if I put anybody over my wife. He wouldn't dare put anybody over my mom. So just by that, now I get it. There's a lot of guys that are mama's boys, and there's a lot of people, there's different circumstances and stuff like that. But I was just always raised, when you take on a wife, that's your responsibility. When you build a family, that's your number one priority. Mama got a husband, or mama, hey, that's no longer your priority. Not saying you don't love your mama, not saying you don't love your daddy, but you have different priorities. So there's a lot of people that were saying mama sit up front. There's a lot of saying your wife sit up front. For me, it was a no-brainer, right? I've been married for 15 plus years. My wife has never sat in the back. She didn't know what a back, a back seat is without me being back there making sure she in the back seat. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Swinging an episode.
Facts. Without her legs through the sunroof or something. I'm just saying. But there was so many people in there saying, "No, mama first, mama." And I just wasn't raised that way. And I'm not saying that they're wrong.
Yeah,
it just shocked me. And so I wanted to get y'all opinion as men. What do you think? What do y'all think?
Well, let's start with this. Who's married? Who's married
is
first?
Up front.
So let me start.
Your wife is married
because I'm married. Me and my wife been together. Jesus Christ, we've been together so long. We've been together for 22 years. Me and my wife.
22? Okay.
Yeah, 22 years, right?
Going on 16 years. Yeah.
So we've been together for a good minute, right? Now, obviously, when it came to girlfriends, my parents was like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Right? It is what it is, right? They don't know how long it's going to last. So, obviously, when I brought girlfriends over, they showed, they were cool and whatever. They didn't do anything weird, like, try to make, any of my girlfriends feel, disrespected or unwanted, right? They were always welcoming, they were that way, right? But it wasn't until when I told them, and I brought Chastity over, I brought my wife, and we showed them the ring, right? And now I said, and they were like, "Oh, congratulations," all that stuff, right? And then I remember one day, maybe a few weeks after that, and stuff like that, having dinner with my parents and stuff like that. It was just me and them. I just decided to stop by and visit them. And then they started talking to me about like, hey, now that you gave her the ring, there's certain things like you now got to take serious and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And my parents were telling them like, we know we taught you about marriage, but do you really understand marriage, right? Like what me and my father, and my dad, and then that's when we really sat down and talked about marriage. And my dad was like, listen, that woman's gonna have your last name, so that woman is you. They disrespect her, they disrespect you. You want to give her our family name? That's your priority now. He's like things are transitioning now. That's your number one, right? And stuff like that. And then obviously, we had kids together and stuff like that. But ultimately, when you get married, you are going from one phase of a family to creating a new phase of a family, and that family is your priority. Yeah. Your parents, obviously, you're always gonna love them like me. God bless my mother's soul, she's dead, but my dad's left. I will always take care of them. But they raised me that my wife is the number one, because she's the one that had my child. That's my daughter's mother, right? So that's number one. Yeah. So whenever we all travel together, I would obviously open the door. I would even open the door for my dad because he was older, right? But when I opened the door for my mom, it was the back door. I got her in. Yes. Absolutely. I got my dad in on the side if he was there or not. My wife sat in the front every time.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was normal.
Absolutely.
That was normal, right?
Yeah.
That video, I'm gonna say my opinion what it is. The video that you're talking, I saw it because it was the black dude with the black mom, his wife, right, and whatever, right? Yeah. The mom is wrong.
Yeah.
Absolutely wrong. Yes, my mom would never do no shit like that. Never do no shit like that, right?
Mine either. Mom would never.
Mom is wrong. I'm sorry. That mom is wrong, right? Because what that mom is doing is she's causing a rift between her son and his wife, right?
Who probably, and she's probably not. You should like Dub was saying, she's probably a single mom, and she's looking at her as her son as a son husband.
Possibly that could be it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's not making sure that her son and that family with the kids stays together. She's including. She's creating a rift, right? Yeah. She's not making sure, doing her part to ensure that family's stable. You understand what I'm saying? In fact, she's the outside influence.
She's a wedge. She's trying to wedge.
Yeah. She even said, well, I don't care if you don't come. Like, bro, that is your grandchild's mother. That's your grandchild's mother. Yeah. But you are more concerned being tied to the hip. Your son, like you had your phase with the son. You need to let him go. It's done. Another woman took it over. You need to make sure, if anything, that she's going to take care of your son. Because you ain't got much time left on this earth. She does.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So the mom should be more concerned of, son, you better treat this woman right because you the one that chose to marry her. You the one that chose to have a kid. You got to stand by that. And on the flip side, you got to make sure she does her part. Like, hey, he chose you the queen. The queen sits right here. You know, if anything, right? I remember my mom, she also had the talk with my wife and stuff like that about her responsibility, right? She's like, hey, your job is to make sure another woman don't sit in this seat. This is your seat. Don't let I remember my mom had that talk. Don't let no other woman sit in this goddamn seat. And I'm like, Mom, what are you talking about? That's how it is. She's like, I know how you guys are. Yeah. Girl, don't let another woman come sit in the seat. She's telling my mom's telling my wife, don't let another heifer come in this household. Don't do it.
Facts.
This is your house. This is your seat. This is your bed. Don't give my son the opportunity to find something else. He doesn't get that chance. Facts. I was like, I'm looking at my mom like, what the
that's a good old school mom.
She did not play.
My mom is. And my dad would kick my ass. Right? If anybody came before my wife, because I made that decision to take her on as a responsibility to lead, to guide, to protect. Right? I did that. And so that structure is there. And I know a lot of people say, no, but your mom, it's a respect. Listen, it's not disrespectful to your mom having her to sit in the back with the kids. There is no written rule that says being up front is more respectful than the back. Yeah. As a matter of fact, in the back, there's more room. And plus, like my mom, she always want to be with the kids. She always want to be in the back with the kids. They're her grandbabies. That's what that's her deal. Right?
Yeah, that's her priority.
Exactly. And so when I saw this situation, like it just kind of came, but then I read the comment section and I was thinking either a lot of these people aren't married or they're, like I said, son husbands. They're, you know, it's that, like you kind of hinted at it, Craig, the single mom, there's just not a man there, and the boy's kind of caught in between all of that stuff.
Exactly. But, the boy becomes
it's
the
really
son,
weird. Once you lose that respect from your wife, you can never give it back because your job, right, was to protect her. It was to make her first, to protect her, to guide her, and to lead her. Once you put other people before her, you are no longer in that position. You're no longer paying your position. She loses that respect. She might as well go and find another dude who's going to make her number one. Because you require that your wife makes you number one, right? What if she serves another man the big piece of chicken, right?
Oh, yeah. Ain't nobody taking the big piece of chicken.
Yeah.
That's my piece of chicken. Yeah, exactly.
What if she's pour another man the last cup of Kool-Aid? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, hell no. Well, right? If it's the green one, I may let it slide. But if it's grape or cherry or orange, we gonna be fighting that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That orange, get away from my orange Kool-Aid, man.
Yeah. So that was never, like I said, me and my wife been married for almost 16 years. That, and we've traveled with our parents and with my mom and stuff like that. That has never ever been a discussion because that's a no-brainer. My mom, when she walks to the car, she's grabbing the back door handle. That's just her position.
Yeah,
she want to be back there with the kids or whatever. And my wife, I mean, that's her spot, passenger seat, right? And when my wife not in the car, then one of my sons may jump in front or something like that. But other than that, that's just what that is. Now, I wanted to get you guys' opinion because I was thinking, well, damn, all of these people are making this, and I was like, well, not, I was, I love my mom to death, right? But I was never necessarily a mama's boy. I was more, a dad's boy. You know what I'm saying? We're doing manly things and stuff like that. So maybe it's just a little bit different, but I want to get y'all opinion to see was that right? Like how
I would say that this generation and just society is different. They don't look at marriage the same way no more. It's just
Yeah.
It's not. The marriage is not. Right now, people look at marriage more as an arrangement than a dedication to a person.
Daily Pink Thong with the $2 said, I only have one mom, so my wife got to go. God, that's
go where?
But I'm saying,
you people. I know.
So, I want to say thank you for the super chat, but I only have one wife, and she gave birth to my daughter. I'm not saying my wife's more important than my mom, But the thing is, the phase of my life changed.
It's not about
being one or the other. It's changing the phase of your life. I'm no longer a son being dependent on my mom. My mom, she did her job. She raised me, and now she says, "Hey, you need to be the man of the house. Take care of her. Take care of your kid. You better stay home." That's one thing my dad said. Like, don't be one of these dads, raising your kids across the street. Or no, you in the house and you stay in the house. You will never leave your kids. Your kids leave you. You don't leave your kids. There's a whole lot of things.
Exactly. Your kids are supposed to.
So it's not a competition. It's a transition. You're transitioning from one phase of the family to now you decide to create a new one. That's your family now. That's it.
Yeah, this is the priority. The priority change.
Yeah. Shout out to Andy. He did make a great point. He said Asian culture is different though, J-Dub. And it's true. It is.
Yeah, that's true.
It can be a cultural thing too, right? It can. That's totally legitimate. And I'm not knocking that. It's just from my culture, how things go is the moment you put a ring on her finger and you say I do, that is your sole responsibility. That is your number one, right? Generally, how it's taught to me, right, is a man humbles himself up to God, a woman, a wife humbles herself up to her husband, and the kids humble themselves up to the mom. That's how it goes.
Yeah, or both. And that forms what's called an infinity. That the way that it's shaped is in the form of an infinity symbol.
Now, once you take a wife and you start your own family, it's not that you are no longer with the other family with your mom and dad. No, they're always going to be there. But you move on and you create your own family and your own dynasty so that you raise up your kids to go and do the exact same thing. But if everybody is putting your mom and dad up front and discarding the contract that you signed with your wife, up to God to be your number one, that's just crazy. We got some super chats, Porter.
All right. You gotta read mine.
Yeah, I gotta read. Yeah. Craig's. All right, here we go. PS5 Pro got these bots, PC clowns, heads against the wall and hold them to get ready for cheek busting. Oh, Jesus Christ. God, Craig bought all the baby oil. He about to go PD on the PC clowns. Oh, man. And then, of course, we read Daly's Ping Stong. I only have one mom, so that wife gotta go. Like, oh man, you're gonna make a good divorce husband one day.
You ain't gonna have no wife.
You're gonna have a good divorce. You're gonna be a good divorce husband one day. You're gonna make a perfect divorce husband. shout out to that. And then of course D Para. Funny, my 15-year marriage anniversary is tomorrow. Nice, congratulations, 15 years.
Hey, congrats.
Congrats, brother. Congrats.
I agree with P-Rock. Guess that's why I'm still married. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, right?
Yeah.
I think overall, let me get extreme because I can see in his face he got something. He's just waiting. Hey, it's about to bust like a volcano. So I'm not going to hold it out no more. Hold on. Before you say something, let me make the screen bigger. Because I want this in full 4K.
Dude.
You know what I'm saying? PS5 Pro upgrade. We're going to give you the... You know what? I'm going to click... Hold on. There you go. I'm going to click on your image. Now you even got the more screen. Wow. I gave you the PS5 Pro upgrade.
Man.
We put some pisser all over you. Now we got better image quality.
Man, that is that doesn't sound good at all. That
you know what I'm saying?
That's bad.
We gave you the pisser treatment right now.
Yes, I really am not okay with that. That is not a way I'd like you to phrase that.
Everybody, focus on Extreme. He's got the better image quality. You know what I'm saying? Gave him the pisser treatment.
Hey, listen. My particular fire that you're saying isn't even about this particular issue. But let's first talk about it. First of all, this is a skit, okay? I always love how this camera's present, always ready to, and the camera moves. Yeah. So it's not a doorbell or some kind of like security camera that just happened.
It's not the Ring doorbell.
So yeah, exactly.
It's like on the sidewalk by the street that they have to drive by.
Exactly. How fortuitous. It also swivels, so it's wonderful. So first of all, this is a made up scenario, but let's talk about it as if it was a real issue, because I know for some people, for some reason.
Well, I will say this. Yes. So there's content creators that do that. They create a skit to invoke the conversation. Like, hey,
Yeah,
you know what?
conversation.
Let's
That's
create
exactly
this
what it is.
scenario and see what happens. You know.
So let's talk about the actual thing. Listen, you chose your wife, you didn't choose your mom. From the moment you choose your person, I don't care if she's a wife, she's your girlfriend, she's your whatever, she goes above your mother. That's it. That's all. There you go. You got it.
Yeah,
You chose her. You didn't choose your mom. That's it. That's it. Your mother could be the most wonderful mother on the planet, and truly, I hope that she is. But you didn't choose her, and you choose this other person. She's always your number one. That's it. I don't care about your culture. Okay. Yes, I will be culturally insensitive. I don't give a fuck if you're Asian or Indian or African. Okay. I come from Africa, where this will be an actual.
He said Africa,
and I will
Africa.
always choose my girlfriend or my partner.
He said Africa.
Hey, listen. What's your mom gonna do? What's she gonna do? Is she gonna quit you? What? She's gonna stop being your mom tomorrow?
There
No,
you go.
she's stuck. She chose you.
Yeah.
She's stuck.
Yeah.
She's gonna get over it. Yeah, because she's still your mom. Yeah, she's gonna be mad for like a year and a half. Yeah, blah blah blah. And she's still gonna be your mom a year and a half plus 1 day. So shut the fuck up. Choose your wife every time. Protect her. Jesus Christ, what the fuck is this a conversation? Like, you don't want to know about this generation nowadays? These weak ass men. Like, how are you so weak you can't stand up to your mom? Like, you have what, 35 years of having your mom and you still can't stand up to her and put her in her backseat? That's her place now. She's lucky she's not in the boot. In fact, she's lucky she's still coming with. You disrespect my wife, you're staying your ass there. You better get on my bicycle. You better get on that bicycle.
You lucky you're not on the bus. This
you're
guy's cruel. He said, you lucky you're not taking the bus.
These weak ass men. Every single time, just like, oh, it's my mom. Shut the fuck up. What did she do? She birthed you, and then she took care of you, so you will turn into a man that stands up for his wife. That's what that's what she was supposed to do. And if she didn't do that, you know what? She doesn't deserve the front seat. Matter of fact, she doesn't deserve any seat. Okay, she can just walk herself back to the village. What the fuck is this?
She said, "Walk back to the village."
Jesus Christ.
He said, "Walk back to the village." He said, "Walk back to the village." He said, "See, Chad, aren't you glad we gave him the pistol treatment? You got all that and all his glory."
That's bad. He gave you the path ray tracing right there.
Oh wow, that's funny, man. I would say this, man, and this is, and if, I know this is, we're gonna move on to topics soon, obviously, but I will say this, man. Like, I've been with my wife since, I'll tell you, the first day I met my wife, I'll tell you how long ago. The first day I met my wife was the day of the Evander Holyfield Mike Tyson fight where Tyson bit his ear.
Oh wow,
that was the day I met my wife.
97.
Yeah, that was 2002, 2002, June 6th.
June 6th. Oh,
no, June 9th. Yeah, but anyway, June 6th. That was the first day I met my wife, right? So, and we've been together ever since, right? So what made it work? So I'll tell you, like 22 years. Like, this was 2002, right? And I'm gonna tell you, we, like, some people, when they look at us, they act like we are newlyweds still, because we still go clubbing, mostly salsa clubs. But we'll go to a salsa club and dance, even at our old age. We'll go to a baseball game. We still go to Great Adventures or Six Flags.
Y'all still do active things.
We still do it. We go to the beach. I try to ice skate, but I bust my ass, but whatever. We just do anything. We just get up and go and stuff like that, right? But we'll get drunk. I think maybe like 2 months ago, she drank too much, so I had to hold her head while she's throwing up in the toilet. Still doing that. You know what I'm saying? She's still getting fucked up. We still getting drunk. Like, we living life to the fullest, right? And it's like nothing. Like, we really, like, we argue on still stupid shit here and there, but we never disrespect each other, like nothing, right? And most of the time, like, the argument lasts like an hour and then we move on from it, right? But the main thing is, so people ask, what's my secret? Like, how's the marriage so good? I'm like, one, she's my number one. She's always my priority. And vice versa, I'm her number one priority. She never put anybody before me, and I never put anybody before her, right? Even when she's wrong, in front of people, she's right. But then behind closed door, I'm like, babe, you were wrong for that. Like, I'm gonna let you know.
Correct them publicly.
You were wrong for that. I had your back. People were looking at me crazy, but guess what? She's never wrong in public. Never.
Ride or die.
Yo, you understand what I'm saying? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is, okay?
But, for The Rock, this, even though it was a skit, it did bring the conversation. But I've seen a similar thing with questions about who does the wife serve at dinner? Who does she serve first? the kids, or it's always something. Yeah. The kids or the husband or whatever.
I would say that's a family thing. Me personally.
Yeah, that's a
personally.
That's a family.
Kids. If she serves
for me,
kids,
I agree.
Get
them
piece
out
of
the way.
Chicken. You get them out the way, and then Dad gets the big piece of chicken.
But don't touch my big piece of chicken though.
Don't have kids. This is why I don't have kids. I want to eat first. And she's like, I want to eat, but no. But here's the thing. The kids are served first, but they don't eat until everybody sits at the table. That's how I was raised with my daughter. My daughter got the first plate, but she's just sitting there waiting for it. She's just looking at it because we all sit together and we eat and stuff like that. But I was raised to put the kids first, right? Always, right? Yeah. Parents, we could suck up. If there's only one plate of food in the house, me and the wife are starving.
Yeah.
And our daughter's gonna. Our daughter's gonna eat. Our daughter will always eat before us. We're always gonna take care of it. But that's a me and her thing. I never looked at it as competition between me. I'll be honest. If there's 2 plates in the house, then my daughter and my wife eats. I'm gonna go to sleep hungry.
Absolutely.
My wife and daughter will. They will never. They will. They're not gonna sacrifice nothing. They're not. Yeah. I will sacrifice whatever, and that's how it is for my house. So if there's only 2 plates of food, right? But what my wife is going to do now, you could share and have half of mine, and that's what she'll do, right? But ultimately, the people I'm supposed to protect, I'm supposed to watch, I'm supposed to provide, they're going to get that. You know what I'm saying? It's always been that way.
Because we eat as a family too, but a lot of reasons that we feed the kids first is so they can eat and then go shower and get all the other stuff.
Sometimes, yes. There were times that, things we're behind the clock. We make sure our daughter eat first because she's got to shower, she got to go to bed, she got school in the morning. Us two will figure it out. Yeah, you're right. You're right on that. Yes.
We'll eat after we get them taken care of and stuff like that. That's kind of how it is in my house. But the food, the eating thing is a lot less important. But it did show me with certain people what's most important in life. Some people, their mom is forever going to be their number one for whatever reason. Everybody loves their mom. Hopefully everybody loves their mom, right? Just because your mom has to sit in the back does not make it you're disrespecting her or anything like that. It does not say that you love one person over your mom, right? But if your mom is mature and she's your mom and she care about you and she care about your well-being, then she's going to put your family over her the same way that you should put your family over yourself. That's just generally how it should go. What you said, Puerto Rock, you'll make sure your wife is fed. You'll make sure the kids are fed before it's you. If it's not enough food, that's just the manly thing to do. So, but that's coming from a man that's traditional, that, have those traditional manly values. These days are a lot different. Some guys are wedded to their moms. They're mama's boys. They were raised by their mom, and their mom forever going to be that priority, right, over anybody. But I think that is a detriment to a certain point. That's why each household needs a man. This is why you're supposed to have a father to make sure that your mom doesn't, step out of her balance. You got a husband, Mom. You got a husband. Why are you in my relationship doing things to sabotage or cause discourse? Because your wife is not just going to accept that. She's not just going to take that laying down being second fiddle to anybody. Or being, it's not. And if you feel like that, then you probably shouldn't take her on as a wife. You probably should just stay single and just leave that way. You don't have to take on. I know a lot of people think, well, when you get a wife, it's totally different because you're taking on that responsibility, right? That's a huge responsibility from a financial standpoint, from a leadership standpoint, from a guidance. If you don't have all of those things in place, then you shouldn't be trying to lead somebody. You shouldn't be trying to guide somebody, and you damn sure shouldn't be trying to marry somebody. That's just the way I was taught. Maybe somebody else think differently. Maybe it's a different culture or whatever. Yeah. But that's just kind of how I am.
Let me put it this way. This is more or less a U.S. Constitution thing, but look how the U.S. looks at it. The bond between, a spouse with a spouse, right? Let's say I go and, God forbid, end the life of somebody, right? 2, 3, 4 people, whoever, right? Just, I gotta say the right terms because I don't want to get canceled on YouTube, right? But let's say, and my wife was the only witness. She's the only one that saw it. She's the only one. There's no DNA evidence. There's no weapon. There's nothing. It's only her. That's the only link, right? And the whole entire world knows it. The district attorney, the judges, everybody knows that my wife knows, right? And she is the only key to finding justice for the people that, completely erased, right? They can't force her to testify. My wife could be like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Can we go? Yeah. And then that's it. Yeah. That's it.
Incriminating. They won't let you.
Yeah, you can't compel. Yeah, you can't. There's a spousal privilege where you cannot compel the spouse. But guess who you can compel? Children and parents. So if my daughter would have saw it,
everybody else,
they can make her testify. And if she doesn't, she's in trouble. If my parents saw it, they can compel my parents. And they will get in trouble if they, for obstruction of justice. So my daughter could be forced to testify against me. My parents could be forced to testify me. My wife, she could flip the bird. And we could walk out like Tupac, Bonnie and Clyde. And nothing. No one could say nothing. They just sit there, deal with it. That should just let you know how that bond between spouse and spouse is. That's the power of the bond. They can't do nothing with your spouse. But they could sure go after your children. If your kid saw, and you better hope that kid be like, you know what, Dad, I love you, but I ain't going to jail. I'm too pretty for jail. Yeah, he did it. My dad did it. He did it. He did it. What?
You sure are a pretty man.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is what it is. You better hope your mom really loves you. For those who chose your mom, because when they tell, hey, we'll give you 10 years if you don't testify your son, they'll be like, you know what, boy, I raised you better. You need to pay for your own things. Yeah, he did it. My boy did it. Put him in jail. Yeah, it is what it is.
That's how Rayford Edmonds, the drug kingpin from back in the 80s in DC, that's how he got caught up by his mom, because he more than likely they forced his mom to tell on him.
But that's to give the people an idea of, at least in the U.S., that bond, how serious.
According to law.
Yeah. They said, hey, U.S. is like, screw justice for your innocent. That marriage is more important. There's nothing we can do. Unless the white voluntarily, there's nothing they can do.
Rock, it's crazy. You don't have to sign a contract to your mom, right? But you have to sign a contract to get married to that woman.
It's binding. Yeah. Right? At least it's supposed to be, right?
Binding contract.
It's supposed to be binding, right? But anyway, good conversation, right? So what's going on, man? What a way to start out the show. Everybody's into it, stuff like that. All right. But anyway, we're gonna go around the horn. We'll start with Jada. What's going on, my brother?
Everything going good, brother. Super excited. Super excited, man. We got 2 more weeks for that PS5.
Best version of Alan Wake 2 on console.
Man, with the ray tracing.
Yeah, with path ray tracing on it.
Says he got path. Is it path? It's not path, though.
Yeah, I finally get my 8K 60 Gran Turismo. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man,
machine learn.
It's not just you, but Frog Gaming. He too gonna get his 8K. He ready. He said, "All right, all right, my brother, all right." And then of course we got Extreme with the crispest, with the pisser imagery that we got.
I've got one more.
Okay, you got one more. Okay, all right, we're gonna go with Craig. What's going on, my brother?
Yeah. Not a whole lot. Just living this path ray tracing life over here at 60 frames.
Is it really path? It's not path though, right? It's
going to be its own version of path.
Here we go.
Fuck that shit.
We got fake path. We got pathway.
Pathway.
This guy always finds a way for us to get clipped. This guy always provides Astro Cyborg with content to clip us, man. Fucking Craig. Anyway, stop buying all the baby oil, bro. What are you doing here?
Did he stole all my baby oil? I'm doing okay. A little tired today.
Working hard.
Sleep good tonight.
Working hard. All right.
Oh yeah.
All right. And we got the judge. What's going on, my brother?
Man, I'm good, man. Actually, I was in Atlantic City for the whole weekend with me and my wife. We enjoyed ourselves, went to the Marlon Wayne's comedy show and just hung out there, and I wish I didn't have to go back to work.
Oh, nice. But it sounds like you're feeling better now. I know last week you were under the weather.
Yeah, under the weather.
It's funny. When I'm down there, I don't know what. Matter of fact, I had an avocado toast, and after I had the avocado toast, man, later on that day, my throat is bothering me right now.
Oh, whoa, pause. I don't know what you did in Atlantic City. Keep that shit there. Oh man. What happened, Judge? Oh man. Now we're just playing. He said pause. He said my throat raspy. Oh man. All right, we're good, man. Well, we hope you continue to heal. You know, get them essential oil. Listen, Vicks Vapor Rub. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. Vicks Vapor Rub. All right. That shit on your chest like that. I'm telling you. So, all my Latinos know what I'm talking about in the chat. Vicks Vapor Rub. Whatever you got, that's the cure and stuff like that. All right?
For everything.
For everything. Right? What was Chris Rock said? Robitussin? Got a broken bone? Robitussin.
Mama, I broke my leg.
Robitussin. And then when you run out, you mix it with water. Motussin.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. Okay. Now, finally, we got, I guess, the rant. All right, Extreme. What's going on, my brother?
Yo, no, first you need to put, I sent you a DM. People
you sent me a DM? Oh, here we go. Uh-oh. All right, let me see. Let me go. Let's go to the treasure trove. All right. He about to share a post. All right. I'm clicking. All right. Let's see what we got here. Something with Prince. Let's see. What is it? Prince of Persia?
That's right. That's the one.
All right. So let me click on that. From Mario. All right. I'm gonna put it on the screen. All right. Let's see. It says right here, Prince of Persia Lost Crown team reportedly disbanded by Ubisoft. Did not reach sales expectation. A sequel was proposed but did not get greenlit. What's going on? So now that we got that, all right. Well, hold on. So let me close that out because we already saw the evidence, and we're gonna give you the pisser treatment once again. There we go. Better image quality. There we go. Let it all out. Floor is yours.
Hey, listen. So the conversation recently, right, especially after the Sean Layden comments, has talked about the whole creativity in gaming, how there is a deficit of it, and how supposedly gamers want more of that. People always talk about variety and diversity and creativity and passion projects, and I'm so tired of this hypocritical gamer. Listen, companies fuck up, right? They really, really do. They have, I think, the most blame to have. If there's blame to be shared, they probably should earn 70% of it. But the other 30% of it is on the gaming body. Because I am so tired. When this game was first announced, you know what I said? I said it in the tweet. I said this will be a critical success and it will be a commercial failure. And people will call me and be like, oh, Emmanuel, you don't want this game. No one wants this game. Not a single one of you wants this game. That's why they're not getting a second one. That's why they got disbanded, because you don't want this game. Can we just be honest about the things that you want? Do you know what people want when they say diversity and creativity and variety and inclusion and all these things? You know what they want? They want your virtue signal. Like, oh my God, I don't just like the Far Cry's and Assassin's Creed's. I also love Neva. I also love Grounded. I also love these other passion projects. No, you don't. You don't play those games. You love them when they're given to you in a subscription, but even then you're not going to play it, And here's the thing. I've always said it. I don't want small games from big publishers. I don't. I didn't want a Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown from Ubisoft. Do you know what I wanted? I wanted an actual Prince of Persia game. Like a 3D game like we haven't had in decades. And that's why I said nobody wants this thing, because not only are you giving a side scroller, are you stupid, but then you haven't given us a 3D version of the game that we've been clamoring for a decade. So what do you think this game is going to do? Nothing, because it did nothing, because it was there for nothing. It's the exact same thing that happened with Hi-Fi Rush. People always say, oh my God, Hi-Fi Rush is such a game. No, it's not. It's a niche game. It will be forgotten to the eons of time. No one will remember Hi-Fi Rush because none of you care about it. You care that you got it in Game Pass and it was for free, but you didn't even play it. Why do you think they wouldn't greenlight another one? Do you think it cost them money to make Hi-Fi Rush? No, they could have done that on a budget that literally wouldn't create a level in another game. They could have given you Hi-Fi Rush too, but you didn't even play the game when it was given to you for free. People talk to you like, oh my God, I want Sony to return to Sony Japan, creating Gravity Rush like you played it the first time. You didn't care about Gravity Rush. You don't care about these games. Just say that you want a Ghost of Tsushima 2. Imagine if Ghost of Yotei was a side-scroller. Imagine that. Like, can I just remind people that Prince of Persia was a flagship franchise?
I wouldn't play it.
And then it goes away for like 10 years, and it gives you a side scroller. Are you fucking stupid? Imagine if Ghost went away for 10 years, and then Ghost of Yote was a side scroller. Well, so Sony can have variety, and they can get away from the third person, over the shoulder, cinematic stat. You know what? All of those things, yes, they are all true. And you know what? It's baby formula. It sells. You buy that shit in droves. You bought God of War Ragnarok, where they literally just gave you more God of War 2018, and you got that shit 5 million in 11 days. Horizon Forbidden West, I love. I've put 200 hours in it. It's Horizon Zero Dawn with a glider. That's what it is. And you bought it again. You just want more of the same shit. Just say that's what you want. You want more of the same shit with one new mechanic. That's all it takes. Halo Infinite is Halo, the original, with a grapple hook. And you love that shit. That's what you want. It's literally the second mission from Halo, from like the original Halo, as an open world game. That's all that it is. And then it gives you a motherfucking grapple hook. And people were like, great, I love it. I want more of it. Give me more. I want expansions. I want DLC. I'll buy it. Stop pretending that these big publishers that cannot afford to give you little games that you're not going to buy should somehow give that to you. You don't want it from them. Do you know what you want it from? Indie games. Because a little indie game that only took like 60 people max to create, their barrier to success is extremely low. If they sell 100,000 copies, 200,000 copies, they will be swimming in money. They will be extremely successful. If they are lucky and they hit it big, they hit 1 million, 10 million, 20 million, that is literally just more success on top of success. But for big publishers, they need to sell 5 million in order to make even and greenlight another one. And you guys are not 5 million strong. There's not 5 million of you that want to play freaking, I don't know, Hi-Fi Rush. That doesn't exist. So stop pretending. As a collective, yeah, I know you, you're like, oh, Emmanuel, I love those games. I love them. Me, I'm the person. I'm that guy. Like, I bought Hi-Fi Rush Collector's Edition. Like, I got it on disc. I got it in my bedroom poster. Like, I literally bought the book for it. Oh, I'm that guy. Yeah, you and maybe 2 of your friends. That's it. The rest of us aren't interested in Hi-Fi Rush, mate. So stop telling these companies you want variety when you don't. The numbers show you don't want these games. How many of you bought Concrete Genie? How many? None. Hey, how many of you bought Gravity Rush? None.
Too.
None of you. What are you talking about?
I bought Gravity Rush.
Yeah. No, me and 6 of my friends. Yeah, and that was literally it. You were the only 7 people on the planet to love that. Okay? And listen. Stop asking Sony to make smaller games. You're not gonna buy them. Okay? Just come with me. Okay, come with me and tell them make big bluster 400, 500 million. I don't care if they lose money on it, but that's what you actually want. So you might as well ask for it. Are you a bad person now for asking for AAA games? People are like, oh my god, AAA games has no creativity. Oh, they can't take any risk. Fuck the risk. I'm gonna give you what you want. If I was opening a Michelin-style restaurant, right, by a seaside village where they love seafood, I'm not gonna serve steak. I'm gonna give them what they want. I'm not gonna be creative. There won't be any infusion. I'm going to be like, hey, you like seafood? I'm going to serve you seafood because it costs me a lot of fucking money to hire these people to make this food for you. So we're not going to be like creative with the menu. We're going to give you what you want and what you expect. Tell people, tell your friends, these big publishers, this is the Sony, the Xboxes, the Ubisofts, the Take-Twos, the EAs. You don't want passion projects. You just want big-ass games. Okay, yes, Star Wars Outlaws didn't like sell to expectations. Oh, how tragic, how sad. But that's still what you would prefer over fucking Prince of Persia. I bet you more of you bought Star Wars Outlaws than you bought Prince of Persia, right? Because that's actually what you want. You would rather have a AAA game that fails than a AA game or an indie game from these companies that succeeds. Because game-wise, it's a great game, but you weren't interested. So stop pretending, stop virtue signaling. You're not better than thou. You are just like the next one of us. You're just going to line up for Ghost of Yote. You've probably got it already pre-ordered. You're going to line up for the next AAA game. Naughty Dog, if Naughty Dog releases a side-scroller, how many of you are going to buy it? I don't even care what it is.
Nobody.
I don't care what it is. I don't care what side scroller it is. If they release a side scroller, how many of you in the chat gonna buy it? How many are gonna pre-order it? If they release a 3D game, we don't even care what it is. It could be a brand new IP we've never seen before. It could be motherfucking Death Stranding. More people bought Death Stranding because it was Death Stranding.
Yeah.
Then people are gonna buy something like Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. Like, it's so fucking pathetic. Just say what you want. Say what you want. You want big ball buster games. That's what you want. Yes, they're going to cost money. Yes, these companies are going to struggle. What the fuck is it your problem? People are like, oh my God, the budget of these games. Are you paying for it? Like, are you there? Like, is it your money? Are they pulling from your resources? Oh my God, whoa, Sony, they spent 400 million. What the fuck do you care? They make billions. They should spend $1 billion on you. Like, are you kidding? GTA 6 is going to come out, and that thing probably costs like 1.2 billion. You're not going to play it because it was too expensive to cost? Like, oh my God, I can't encourage that in the industry. Oh no, what if all games start costing like this? Shut the fuck up, you're going to buy it. If you could rob your mom to have GTA 6 early, 1 week early, you would do it. These losers ass, man. I'm so tired of these fake ass friends.
It's the virtual
fake ass gamers. Like, oh my God, I want creativity. Shut the fuck up. You just want more of the same with like one mechanic.
Mm-hmm. I think it was on your podcast, J-Dub, that we kind of mentioned this about the metrics, right? People like I seen, and I think one of it was the
we read the list.
Yeah,
we read the list. People always ask for all kind of shit, but the real stats, the data shows what they ask for out of their mouth is not what they spend their money on.
Yeah, like about a week ago, Sean Layden made that quote saying like collapse of creativity in the industry, and then everybody came up. Everybody was coming up with excuses of it's executives, it's button pushers, it's his fault, it's this, that, and third, but none of them addressed. None of them, like, or at least I think BG was one of the few that said, it's because we're not buying the games. And that's literally it. Like, listen, let me ask the community, do you guys really think that these creative indie games are selling blockbuster, generating massive amount of money and profit, and the industry's like, yeah, fuck that, we don't want that? No! If these creative games, these creative indies were to actually sell and generate shit tons of money, they would make more of it. They would have no problem making more of it because it's making the money. The reason why you don't say it is because we're buying the AAAs. We are buying the AAAs. I mean, we see the top selling games, whether it's in Europe and US, whatever. Maybe Japan has the most creative games out there, but that's mostly in-house, right? But across the majority of the world, it's the Call of Duties, it's the big AAAs, it's the God of Wars, it's the Spider-Man,
the Fortnite.
It's always the biggest games that get sold the most and stuff like that. Listen, like I said in J-Dub's podcast, right? These companies, they got two major data points, right? At least two. Number one is sales, which is the most obvious. They can clearly see a game selling, not selling. They know. They're like, okay, this didn't sell enough. This sold a lot. This sold pretty good. This, forget about it. They have that information. So that's the first point that you can't argue, right? Okay. The second point, and with the introduction of the gamer tag and the PSN ID, that of course they introduced it as, hey, now you guys can compare each other. You can see what each other's playing, all that stuff. What they didn't tell you is now they know what you are actually playing. Don't you find it interesting that every time you complete a level, you get a trophy? That lets all these publishers know how many people are beating each level. When they show like 80% of the people didn't beat this boss and it's the first boss, that lets the company know you don't like Hi-Fi Rush. 80% of you didn't beat the first boss. And they know, because if you did beat the first boss, you will get that little achievement. It will pop up. Bling. That's how they know. They know the drop-off rates. They know how many people, beat the first boss, the first level, but the big drop-off rate from people being, it's like, for example, first level completed is like 80%. So already there's a 20% drop-off. Second level, 70%. Third level, 40%. Fifth level, 20%. So they're like, man, by the time the fifth level's here, these guys are gone. Fuck it. They don't like this game. Like, so it's 2 data points. What they buy and then what you guys actually play. Because you could buy a game and you'd be like me, I bought Gravity Rush and Gravity Rush 2. I'm not going to lie, I bought it. But I did not play Gravity Rush 2. Listen, I didn't even install it. After I played Gravity Rush 1 for like an hour, I'm like, get the hell out of here. I'm like, screw this shit. I deinstalled it. I didn't even bother with part 2. I'm like, I'm not playing this. This is terrible. Y'all lie to me. This is terrible, right? So when Sony sees, Porter Rock bought Gravity Rush 1 and 2, but when they look at the stat, this guy only spent an hour on Gravity Rush 1. Hell, we got nothing. He didn't even hit the title screen. So Porter Rock don't like Gravity Rush. And I'm not saying it's all about me, but you got to look at it from the big holistic view of the industry and the gamers. They can see what games you actually play. Like Twitter doesn't mean nothing when your profile and all the profiles that have this game actually show 2-3 hours. Hardly anyone beat it. They know they're not stupid. They're not gonna react to Twitter. They're gonna be like, look at all these people. Like, oh my God, Japan Studios, everything's great, and Sony got data and facts. They're like, they're like,
didn't buy it.
Like, bro, you guys, then how come the hours don't reflect the Twitter conversation? Like, they're not reflecting. How come the sales don't reflect? Like, oh my God, you got like 10 million people say, oh my God, Gravity Rush is amazing. And Sony's like, but we sold 1 million. How is 10 million people, like, did they pirate it? Like, how the fuck? How did 10 million people brag about Gravity Rush, yet we only see 1 million people buy it? And out of the 1 million people, only 100,000 of you actually finished it. So where did all these people come from? Where everybody come from? Because they're not here. Come on now, it's virtual signaling. That's why when that whole little battle of, some people, I don't even know why, because I saw it. I don't even know why PlayStation guys were defending Sean Layden. I'm like, it's not even worth it. It's not even worth having a discussion. We all know. You got to buy the game and you got to play the game. They can see those 2 data points. They're not stupid. All that shit they have access to. So the whole social media and hundreds of million people be like, oh my God, this is amazing. None of that shit matters. Sales and actually, show me your PSN ID. Show me your gamer tag. That lets me know. How many people bragged about fucking Hellblade and they only have 1 hour? Like, bro, 2 more hours and you'll beat the game. Like, what are you doing? Like what? So many people bragging about it and they get that gamer tag exposed for not actually playing it. That's pretty much just all virtual signaling shit talking on Twitter. And that doesn't work against these corporations. They literally have your data. They know how many hours you put in the game. They know the hours. They know what trophies you went to. They know. They got it. They know how long you are actively playing the game, how long you paused it. They got all that shit. And that's what helps guides them towards the decisions they make to make new stuff. So when a developer who's very creative, they're like, oh, I want to make this game. They'd be like, you realize we got data that shows that game sucks. You do realize that. You do realize that shit don't sell. Look at the data. You expect a miracle? Like, that's why it's hard for a developer to be creative, because the company be like, oh, you mean like this game that nobody really bought? Yeah. We should give it another go. Come on now.
Well, that's Puerto Rock. That's one of the reasons why when dudes be asking for Sony to bring back old games, first thing out of my mouth is there's a reason they killed the franchise off. There's a reason they stopped making the games back in the day. Is because you guys, us as gamers, stopped supporting it. They are not just gonna make games just because you have a nostalgia feeling, right? What comes out of your mouth is different than your purchasing habits. Once your purchasing habits and your mouth align, then we have reality. Everybody wants them to bring back Killzone. Oh, because there was a rumor or something that what's the studio that makes
Nix's?
Yeah. No, the studio that makes Horizon. Guerrilla Games, right? They move past Killzone and stuff like that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
That was the discourse today, right? That was the discourse. And it's like, why are you guys upset? You didn't buy the last one. You all call it dog shit. You didn't beat it. You didn't play it. Nobody cared, right? But all of a sudden now you want them to go back. It's like, stop with the nostalgia shit. Nostalgia rarely ever works. The games that they have tried to bring back, people still don't fuck with them. the top played games we see from PlayStation, and from Xbox and on PC, none of those are those games that you guys want them to bring back. It's all the Fortnites, the Call of Duties, the Madden and 2Ks. That's what your dollars are saying. None of that shit is showing all of these AA games that they've tried to bring out. And that's just the reality.
Yeah, look at the one of the talking points, because when Charlene has said that, some people brought up, well, look what you did to Insomniac. Now they're not creative no more. Now they're a Marvel cartoon, comic book studio.
Yeah.
But in my mind, when I read that comment, I'm thinking, the first Spider-Man they made sold more copies than every game they made combined.
Yeah.
You combine all the Ratchet and Clanks, right? You combine Fuse, which was their game, and Sunset Overdrive. Add that all up, it's less than the first Spider-Man. Just one Spider-Man sold more copies than everything. They're more successful than they ever been. So you want them to make games that you guys didn't buy because they were creative? Like, what are we talking about here? Spider-Man 2018 sold 20 million. Listen, they sold more copies of Spider-Man than Bungie sold copies of Halo. Halo 3, the highest selling Halo 3 was like 14 million. Like, you really want Insomniac to go back to making Fuse, which sold like 1 million copies on every platform. Like, well, what are we talking about here? Of course they're going to keep pumping out. They're more successful. They're making more money. They're getting paid. Their salaries is beautiful. The offices is beautiful. They're living good because people are finally buying the games that they're making. They weren't living that good making Ratchet and Clank, Resistance, Fuse, Sunset Overdrive, that's it's just the truth, They made Spider-Man, that shit they were seeing sales they never seen. Spider-Man 2, 11 million at $70 a pop. And that was straight from Insomniac. When they announced that Spider-Man 2 sold 11 million, they made it a point, says, and this is at $70, no price drop. $70, 11 million copies, not one price drop. Not one. But yet, how many copies Ratchet and Clank sold? 2? And combined with PC? 2.5? With PC?
Boy, this is...
And price drops?
Boy. It's like... I just the disconnect between what people do and what they say is so tremendous, so vast, that when on this podcast and they're talking, I'm like, okay, listen, if you personally are that guy, listen, no problem, game the way you game, love the thing you do. But do not pretend that as a company, these people should create games to cater to people like you. When there's 13 of you motherfuckers, you guys are baker's dozen. That's it. That's all you get. You got 13 of you. Take a look at Alan Wake 2. It still hasn't made profit. Because people don't want that game. Okay? Do you know what they want? They want Control 2. Listen to what they want. So it's like, give them what they want and ask for what you want. It's not that... You know what it is? Do you know what gamers are like? They're like your girl. When she's like to you, you know what? Pick a restaurant. And you're like, okay, great. Let me give you this. And she's like, nah. And then you're like, fine. Let's go over there. And she says, no, I don't feel like it.
Then what do you want?
You're like, what do you want?
You pick.
I will provide. Have money. Just ask me. Just tell me. I will give it to you. And she's like, surprise me. I want you to be romantic. So you know what you do? You make a fucking order. You order something. You order lots of shit. And it's all good. It all works together. It's fucking Thai food. You haven't had Thai food in years. She fucking loves Thai food. And then she doesn't eat it. That's what the fuck you all are.
Ask,
and you shall receive. It's a fucking biblical. But then you ask for shit. They give you that shit, and you don't eat that shit. You ask for a high-five rush. You're like, oh my god. The thing about PlayStation is that they all make the same game. They're all the same formula. I don't want that.
Here's high-five rush.
I want you to give me variety.
High-five rush.
And then they give you variety, and you don't eat the fucking variety.
When
you don't play those games.
When they bragged about 2 million players, I'm like, wait a minute. Game Pass has 30 million subscribers at the time. They think it still does anyway. But I'm like, wait a minute. You're telling me 28 million subscribers just don't even want to download it? Because it's just a push of a button. That's it. It's just installed. Like they already prepaid it. They prepaid like
the food.
You see it. It's on your screen. When you put up your Xbox, you're seeing Hi-Fi Rush in front of your face, and 28 million of y'all said, yeah, I'm not. Skip.
Yo, hey, listen. Yo, Podwalk.
Astro
Bot was installed on the fucking console. It came with it for free. People don't play Astro Bot. They don't play Astro's Playroom. What the fuck do you want them to do? You're like, hey, Sonny, don't create like Horizon 3. Be creative. They give you Astro's Playroom on your fucking console. All you had to do was press X. It's literally the first time when you open your PlayStation for the first time.
It's pre-installed for you.
Press
it's pre-installed for you. You don't even have to install it. It's pre-installed for you.
Pre-installed. You
know what they did? They put the energy to hit the option button and delete it. That's what they did. They deleted it.
Go to the store. Let me download some shit I actually want.
I only got 825 gigs. You got to go.
Bro, delete. These motherfuckers, they're like, oh, is Astro Bot good? You're like, wait, didn't you play Astro's Playroom? Nah. How not? How is it a nah? How is it no? How did you not play it? It was there. It was free. It was installed. What did you want Sony to do? Pick up the controller and play it for you? They literally have hints. The entire game is literally there. And then you're like, I wish Sony would just make smaller games, Why are they making these $100 million games? I just want smaller games. I'm a gamer. I love it. I just love photo games. I wish Sony would do more of that. Like Astro Bot. Yeah, I want them to do more of that. No, you don't. Fucking liars. Jesus Christ.
Oh shit. What's up,
Yo, M, Yo. I wasn't even planning on getting on until
this hit your soul, didn't you? This hit your soul.
Well, first of all, as soon as I turned the show on, it was just in time to hear the Gravity Rush slander. Okay. But outside of that, dude, man, be quiet. I was just getting ready to praise you, and then you're gonna start talking your damn shit. Just don't speak on Gravity Rush. Anyway,
leave it alone. Like, I bought it though. I bought it.
Your rant. Oh, yeah,
I bought it too.
I didn't play this shit.
I bought it too.
Your rant reminds me of. You've probably seen it, Em, but has everybody seen that movie, The Wall?
I saw that. Yeah.
Okay, you saw it too? Okay, damn. Okay. So, P-Rock, do you remember that scene when he finally lost his shit? When his girlfriend was yelling at him and he starts trashing his apartment and then he leans out the window and he's like screaming at the top of his lungs? Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah.
M's rant made me think about that's how I felt when I'm seeing all of these awesome, creative, risk-taking games not do well. And then hearing people say, man, that AAA games, they don't take risks anymore. All these games are looking the same, blah, blah, blah. That was me, that dude from The Wall. Like, for everybody else who hasn't seen it, like, it's a really trippy movie. Like, it's basically about his, psychosis. But that one scene where he finally snaps and he just, like, trashes his apartment, and then he just, like, because he's like, I don't know, he's like in like a mid-rise or whatever, and then he just like grabs the sides of his window and he's like leaning out the window and he's like screaming at the top of his lungs, like, and you can see his face. He's like, that was the point where he had his psychotic break. And that's how I feel when I see people complaining about lack of creativity, blah 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 blah, and then they don't buy it. So that was literally me. That's how I had to get on, because that's how I feel whenever I see people complain about creativity and it never gets supported.
Yeah, that's why I didn't even bother with the conversation, because that shit was, when Sean Lehner made that statement, that shit blew up there. I'm like, I'm not talking about this. Get out of here. Like, we all know what it takes for games to be made. You gotta buy it, you gotta play it. Simple. If you buy it, if it sells and people play it, there you go. Yeah, it's simple. It's not hard.
I just address the Nintendo thing? Because people always bring up Nintendo. That's the final line of defense. They're like, look at Nintendo. They sell so many creative games. They have Luigi's Mansion. They have blah blah bloop, blah blah bleep. Okay, cool. Here's the thing with Nintendo. Nintendo works, right? The reason that they work, listen closely, is because they work under the same model that drinks at the club do. Okay, why do you think a drink like at the club can cost 15 times as much as it does at the bottle store? Because the people consuming it aren't the people buying it. That's why. The girls at the club do not pay for the drink, so they don't have to worry if it costs $15.99 for a little bit of shot. Gamers, the little kids that these games are made for, they don't buy the game. So they don't care if it costs $70 5 years later. They don't care. To them, it's brand new. And it's the parents that pay for it. They don't buy the game, so they don't care about the price tag. Just like, hey, listen, if you are a female and you dress yourself up very prettily and you go to the club, you should just expect to have free drinks. They should just arrive. You don't care how they got there. They should arrive. You don't know who it is that's going to do it. It will arrive. The funny thing is that I saw a skit on Twitter, since we're talking about skits on Twitter, right? About a woman who was like, when you look over the shoulder, and who's going to pay for your meal? But you know what the funny thing was? She was at the restaurant already eating. But she was dressed up. She was dolled up. She knew she wasn't paying for that meal.
That she already ordered?
Nintendo. That's Nintendo. Like, client. They're not paying for it.
Oh, wow.
Nintendo knows that the people they are selling to will not be the ones buying the game. So they don't care to make it affordable. They don't listen. They're gonna charge whatever they want for the next Mario. They could charge $100. They charge you like hundreds of dollars.
They charge $70 for Tears of the Kingdom.
All the way through, and they are never gonna go down. And you know what? They never should. I agree with them. Just like a club should always overcharge for their drinks, because they know that their people they are selling to are not the ones they're not the ones that will be buying it. So they don't care. You think girls at the club care about how much your drink costs that you offer them? You think they even look? You think they know what the price list is? Club shouldn't even show you what the price is, because the people picking the drink are not the people paying for them. It doesn't matter what the price is. You should just be surprised as a man. You're like, hey, bartender, get her whatever she wants. And then she just rattles off some like pina colada, blah, 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 blah. And you just see numbers. You're like, oh wow. Yeah. It better
He said,
be
oh wow.
to you. Yeah. And you know what? She'll never know. She's not even interested. What are you gonna say? Oh, that drink actually costs $35. Can I have that? No, you're not getting it. She got doled up, and you pay for it. You got suckered. If you have children, they're gonna want Nintendo games. You got suckered. Oh, you're the parent. That's it. You had children. You're fucking bad, but it's not Nintendo's problem. So stop bringing up Nintendo like somehow they work under the same purview as everybody else in the industry. Everybody else actually has to sell to the people that are buying the games. That's the difference. Everybody else has to sell to the people that are actually going to play and buy and everything like that. That's what they have to do. But guess what? If you decide to buy Astro Ball for your child, you think your child knows what $70 means? You're just going to be like, hey, Dad, I want Astro Ball. And you're going to be like, you've been pretty good at school. Here it is. It just arrives. Just like girls at the club. The drink is just delivered to them as if by magic. Okay? And guess what? You will be that sucker. You know what? I bet you this. Okay? All the men in the chat room, okay? You go to a club, and I swear, if I created a club, you know what I would do? I would just let the girls drink for free. They can just drink for free. I'll just keep a tab. And one of you motherfuckers are gonna come and pay that tab to be able to talk to that girl. I don't even have to worry about it. I can let girls drink 3 hours before the guys are allowed to come into the club. And there will be enough guys coming into that club to pay for the entire tabs for every single girl there. That's how Nintendo sells games. I just want to get out.
All right. Man, he really went in. All right. Okay. All right. Let's start with the first topic. All right.
That was my intro.
There you go. There, that was your intro, right? All right. All right, guys. Now we get to start the show. All right. But anyway, we'll go with J-Dub. J-Dub, my brother. Oh, shit. He left. He's like, oh, shit. Ends on his bullshit. Let me go get a steak. You go like that. Yeah, man. God
he doesn't
damn
want
it.
his wife listening to all this club
That's
conversation.
it.
She's just like, wait, you agree with him? You pay.
But hey, we'll talk about Alan Wake getting a PS5 Pro upgrade. Let me pull up the article, or let me put up whatever whatever. Where's it at, man? Everybody's been talking about it. Now I can't find it. Jesus. I'm just a shithost. Alan Wake. Oh, let me put Alan Wake 2. PS5 Pro. But I think the big. Let me see. Oh, here we go. So Alan Wake 2 on the PS5 Pro. So here we go. Apparently it says PS5 Pro quality mode features ray tracings. So there was no ray tracing at all. But now 30 FPS with ray tracing, ray trace reflections, output resolution 4K, render resolution, internal is 21.7, whatever. Performance mode. Performance mode on the PS5 Pro features significantly higher output resolution and it has more visual detail compared to the base PS5 Pro. The Pro Performance mode uses approximately the same image quality render settings as the base quality mode. The overall image stability, fog, volumetric lighting, and shadow accuracy has been improved on the Pro, but now at 60 FPS, using approximately the same render setting as the base PS5 Pro quality mode. Base PS5 Performance mode version runs at lower render image quality settings. Render resolution, they put a whole bunch of numbers. Base PS5 version outputs 1440p, right? So I think the main thing is in this version, it's now including a mode that we just didn't get on console because you just couldn't do it, right? Now, granted, it's at 30 FPS, right? So, J-Dub, go ahead, speak on it.
Yes, sir.
Because speak on it, you know.
Listen, that's greatness, man. Shout out to Mark Cerny. Listen, he designed a console that could take full advantage of your old games, allow the developers to add new modes, add ray tracing, additional foliage, additional lighting, features, combine the quality and the performance mode together and stabilize those frames. And basically, that's what we've been asking for. So, dude, I'm all for it. And I'm actually glad that these third-party developers are actually taking advantage day one of the PS5 Pro. A couple of weeks ago when Mark Cerny did his little thing showcasing the PS5 Pro and the technology on it, he focused on three things. And those developers are taking advantage of those three things. Now, here's the thing. That day, he said that there were 50 games at that point that would take advantage of it. But he said each, giving time, there's more and more going to be added. Right now, we have about 104 to 105 games. That's PS5 Pro enhanced. The least keep going up every day. So there's a lot of content day one, even if you don't buy any new games, that's going to take advantage of that. So I'm super excited. I can't wait. Day one. Now, granted, wait till you start getting the games that's built from scratch with the PS5 Pro. Right? All the new games, all the new Unreal Engine 5 games, all the new let's say Ghost of Yotai, let's say Death Stranding 2, let's say whatever, all the first party stuff, but even the third party, Grand Theft Auto. I have no doubt in my mind that game is going to be 4K 60. No doubt in my mind. So that's great that they have a technology now that's able to replicate what NVIDIA is doing on the PC side with DLSS. That's great. And again, it's just the first iteration of it. Imagine when they get to 2.0 and 3.0 or PS6, things like that. That's just going to be crazy. We'll probably have their own dedicated frame generation, next generation. Right? So that's why we ought to be excited about this stuff. We shouldn't just poke fun at it and call it trash or whatever. It's doing what it's intended to do. It's not a new generation. It's not a 4090 PC, right? It's not a $5,000 PC. It's a iterative upgrade, but it's making your games run better, look better, and it's adding features that you didn't have in a lot of these games. Again, ray tracing, better upscaling, and just overall, just better GPU performance. So I'm super excited.
All right, Ramon will hit you up, but let me do these super chats real quick. We got Alvin with a super. Oh, first we got Navanzor. He says, if my wife is driving, I give the back seat for dad. Right, as you should, Nathan, as you should. Alvin, thank you for the super chat. The Pro is the first time I pre-ordered from Sony directly, so I don't know. Should I expect the Pro at my door on the 7th or to ship from Sony that day? I think they shipped it the day before. They ship it they guarantee it by that day, so they ship it a little early. So that we arrive. So that's what I was told about Sony Direct, right? But congratulations, my man got the Pro. Donnell Brown, he came back to the 60 frames no flag family. I think he left because I was talking shit with the Mets. He was getting upset, but Los Angeles Dodgers, beat the Mets, and now he out here talking trash as a member again. He's saying we're coming, Dodgers take it all. Pause.
No,
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, we got the true blue. We got the
East
true
versus West. East Coast versus West Coast.
You faced out lightweights of New York. You understand what I'm saying? All right, you're gonna get the true blue right here, right? It's gonna be a good game. Jenna Hayes with the $5 super chat says, I personally want a proper 3D Castlevania game. Girl, we're twins. We twinning now. A proper 3D Castlevania game with the help of the Symphony of the Night creator and Sony Santa Monica with Konami blessing. That's what we want. We don't want a side-scroller Castlevania no more. We don't want that. We want the big blockbuster over the shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
It's funny they mentioned that because I just grabbed like the first Lords of Shadow for like $5.
That was good, man.
That was a good game.
Yeah, and it did well too. But I think with Kojima leaving Konami, they're like, yeah, we're not doing this without him.
Well, sadly, the second one wasn't anywhere near as good. Like I still enjoyed it enough to own it, but the second one was nowhere near as good as the first one. And most people, being I admit that I'm a little more forgiving, so most people were just like, this is trash. So unfortunately, we'll probably never see another one of those. But
Sony will have to grab hold of that. Sony will have to grab hold of that.
Yeah,
Konami, can we borrow that Castlevania IP real quick? Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Let us borrow it, for a couple of episodes and stuff, right? We got Bobo Country. It says Gravity Verse 2 has a trophy for moving forward. I wouldn't know, because I didn't play it. I own it, but it didn't take up hard drive space.
I did.
Not to be mean, Ramon. I'm just saying, I'm being honest. I didn't play that. But I bought it.
Trust me, I'm used to it. I have to endure Horizon slander all the time, so I've gotten used to having to hear shit like this.
All right.
Horizon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, remember? The Best Bot. He said the performance mode was terrible.
Don't even get me started.
Yeah, I'm gonna slap that battery in your back. Fucking what your kid Spook said that he didn't really play Horizon because he said the performance mode was bad. Meaning it was
No, he said it was bad. No, wait.
Was it off or some shit?
Performance mode was bad. He said performance mode was atrocious.
Oh, atrocious, yeah.
Now look,
I was like,
I'm all for opinions. If you didn't like the game, you didn't like the game. If you hated the game, you hated the game. All fair, yada yada. But don't go online and freaking lie. Like the game had bugs. The game had bugs. It had some serious pop in, and it had shimmering, and then occasionally, you'd have the character model glitches and stuff like that. Yeah. But most of those issues were patched within the first, I don't know, week or two or something like that. Yeah. I mean, it's irrelevant that I didn't experience anything other than the pop in because it's a case by case. Some people experience issues that others don't. But that, by and large, that game ran
smooth,
beautifully out the box, and it had a few glitches and issues that were fixed. So the atrocious is like draw distance is messed up, CDPR, what do you call it?
When Cyberpunk first came out.
That is the word that matches the word atrocious. But because it had a few glitches and bugs here and there that were ironed out really fast, atrocious, dude, I was hot. I was ready to throw something. I can't stand when people get online and talk reckless like that. But anyway, I'm not gonna go off on that because
he was ready to fight. You know what I'm saying? He was like, "Yo, Smooth, fight me."
If you don't like the game, you don't like the game. But just I can't stand it when people lie, man. And that was a lie. It was a flat out lie. It wasn't atrocious. But anyway, let me stop.
Sanyu.com.
Keep going.
He said, "Please watch Star Citizen Squadron 42 trailer." All right. I will definitely look at it. Thank you so much for letting me know. And SNK, he said, just picked up the disc drive for the PS5 Pro. Oh, he's ready. SNK's ready, All right, no doubt. Hey, thank you so much for the super chat. All right, thank you so much for watching. If you're enjoying the show, please hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe, stick around. Here's my question to Ramon. So, do you have any? I don't want to say concerns, but how do you feel about to get for Alan Wake 2 to add this additional new capability that no console was able to do with the ray tracing? How do you feel that Sony still provides a method for developers for 30 frame per second games if it means they can add something that they couldn't do before, like ray tracing? Do you feel that that's a still good choice, or like that could send a mixed message? What do you say? How do you feel about that?
Options.
That they still options. Okay.
Options is if give me options and I'm happy. I mean, give me a 20 frames per second option. I'll never use it, but the fact is, you're like, hey, if you wanted to look like, gold on your screen, but you're only going to get 20 frames, someone somewhere might want to go for that option. So, I mean, as long as you're giving me options, I'm happy. You know what I mean? So, like a 30 frames per second, I mean, well, I'm not. I don't have a dog in that fight. But
I don't know. I do 90 frames with ray tracing.
but no, it's
let's look at your profile pic. That guy's like, 30 frames. He got the Leonardo DiCaprio, like 30 frames. Yeah, okay. Oh shit. He's like, that's not a problem.
You remember when and why I chose that profile.
Yeah.
Good memory.
Oh man. But I get it.
I mean, it's great though. Like it's great that they have options. And I mean, I'm excited for everybody else who's excited for the Pro. Like I'm seeing everybody online and they're like, man, day one, can't wait. Only, 2 more weeks to go or only 3 more weeks to go, whatever it is. And it's like everybody's all excited for the Pro and this and that. And like that's why, well, those of us who are sane, that's why we're here. You know what I mean? Like even if I'm not planning on buying it, I'm just having fun watching everybody else just like
the love of gaming.
Yeah, it's the love of gaming, exactly. And the fact that now people can buy a console and they can get a little more performance and a little bit better visuals and enjoy all of that stuff, man. It's just freaking awesome, and it's moving everything forward. PlayStation is the reason why. Maybe it may have come later on, but PlayStation is the reason why we have NVMe drives. At the time, the fastest drive. Speed. Yep. Exactly. You know what I mean? So I mean, thanks to Sony, we have that. You know what I mean? So it's like for all the people who talk all the smack about consoles and this and that, it's like, there's a console manufacturer creator out there that actually is helping to push this tech forward that we enjoy. So, I think instead of just talking smack, how about we just enjoy what we got and see how all of this develops? So, I mean, it's a great time. It's a great time. And I'm looking forward to seeing all of the, the still shots and the videos, clips and everything of everybody enjoying their games and enjoying, games they played all over again, but better. Because, I mean, I'm doing the same thing. Like,
you double dip.
I've been double dipping. And so, like, I know how that feels. So I'm looking forward to seeing other people get to experience how that feels. Because it's awesome. Like, you re-experiencing something that you love over again, but
it's
even,
like Christmas
even
time
better.
It's like Christmas
right?
time. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's great. Just if people would just enjoy the games and stop talking. I mean, there's the joking and everything, but the people who invoke both sides of the argument, it's just like, dude, just enjoy the games, man. That's what we're here for.
You know what it is. It's like, it's like Christmas time. You get all the good gifts, and then other people, don't get any gifts, and so somebody's going to be upset and mad, and that's kind of like what that is. Nintendo Switch 2, those Nintendo fans, they're excited for the Switch 2. Even PC dudes, they're excited for the 5090 coming out, 5070 and the 50, and then you got Xbox guys, right? They're not excited for Game Pass.
See, I wouldn't go. See, I'm not
you
trying
can't do it,
I'm not trying to
I'm gonna go there.
Now.
I'm gonna go there. But it's true.
That's 59. I'm already trying to figure out ways to
spend that.
Come up with my fund. I'm calling it the 5090 build 2025 fund. I need to sell a lot of books.
Oh man, how much that thing is going to cost in Canada? Like $4,000?
Oh yeah, if it's $2,500 in US.
Dude, it's stupid. Like the 4090 is like 21. It's between 20. It's between 2,000 and 2,400, I think. The 4090. So I just there's a guy at my local Canada computer store
That's
who
rent
remains
money right there.
convinced.
Is that D
Dude.
batch?
He remain no.
The Canadian tech guy, D-Badge. He
Yeah.
got you.
He remains convinced that it's going
My
to be more competitively priced, and I'm like, man, are you sure?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
You know all the stuff they talking about. Matter of fact, the rumor price came out. It was $2,500.
No,
That was
American.
debunked, though.
American.
Well, that was
You think it's
one of
debunked?
one of the tech channels. One of the reliable tech channels was like, no, that's
Yeah.
as of right now, that's not that
So-
part is not true.
So what's the
But
lowest?
the
you think
only
it
reason
could
I
release?
want it is because
What's
I
the
want to be
lowest?
good for like 10 years, at least
Yeah.
10 years.
Yeah. What's the lowest
the
you think
4090
it'll come in? What's the lowest you think it'll come in? The 5090.
The lowest it'll come in
In
is
American
maybe
dollars.
2,000 because the 4090 came out at 2,000, and I know people are gonna say, "Oh, that's because of
COVID.
the crypto and COVID and
Oh,
all
yeah.
that stuff going on." It's like, yeah, but Nvidia wasn't the worst company. Now they are. You think they're gonna care about lowering prices? No, they know. Think about it. The 40 series of cards for the high end, for the 4080, 4090. They know that that's not going to be the mainstream cards. They know that's not. It's for the elites. It's for the people who are willing to spend their money. For everything else, there's the 4060 and the 47. Those majority of the people own those cards.
If that.
If
think
that,
Well,
If
I
they
think
got
the
the
majority,
they got the
are in
30
the 3,000.
they got the
30.
30.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
got the 3050s.
3060.
They got the 3050s. Nah.
yeah,
All right.
Yeah, the majority. The majority is, I think, the 2080 Ti up to the 3070 or
60.
something like that.
Yeah,
3060. Oh, okay.
yeah, 3060 according to
Yes.
Steam.
Okay. All right. Extreme. Okay. I don't know if you've been keeping up with the whole, Alan Wake 2,
Alan
but
Wake 2?
they were ready. They were ready. Remedy was ready to be like, hey, look at all our good stuff. I don't know if it's because of what you said. They still haven't made profit. So now they're trying to please buy our game. Like, we're giving you ray tracing. What more do you want from us? Like, I don't know if that they're in the final desperation, stuff like that. But they even adding, at 30 frames a feature that was only available on PC and stuff, and better quality and stuff like that. What do you think about that? You think this is helping with the cause, with the movement?
First of all, things improving is always good, right? Like at the end of the day, it is an improvement of what you're gonna get, and it will be another reason for people to be able to justify and enjoy the PlayStation 5 Pro. So everything there is good. My only issue is that no one's still gonna buy this game because at the end of the game, people still don't want this game. Like it's just you're not gonna buy it. So it's like it's good for the people that are there, and you know what? It's also great for them to get used to the technology, so that when they make Control 2, people are gonna buy that game and are going to enjoy those benefits in that game as well. So at the end of the day, it's a positive all around, right? But I don't think that people that were previously on the sideline are now gonna be like, there it is. They're gonna PlayStation 5 Pro features. That's the thing. That was my in. That was the thing that I wanted out of it. So I just don't think that a person who had left the game behind or had put it at the wayside or just didn't care about it is not going to see the ray tracing or the other improvements that they made to the performance mode and be like, oh yeah, that was my bag. That was the thing that was blocking me or stopping me, or I am now enticed. So it's a good thing. It's good for the company. It's good for the fans of the game. But I don't think it's going to recruit new fans to the cause or whatever. At the end of the day, I hope that this game breaks even by the end of the generation, so that they at least haven't lost any money. But profitability is not in the cards for them, unless I don't know, they have like a truly amazing DLC. I'm not sure if a DLC has ever saved the game that wasn't doing that well, but maybe I guess it could turn around. Yeah, so it is what it is, Maybe like Destiny DLC, like the Taken King had like a big impact on like Destiny sales. So maybe like the new Lake House DLC that they're about to come out with, maybe that'll be the thing where people are like, hey, this Lake House thing, that's enough for me.
Okay.
But if we're really talking about the game, I think that this game suffers from what is it? Streaming. I think it's a game that a lot of people watch, right? Rather than play themselves. So I think that if, people were did not have such a ready access to the game and see what all the ins and outs of the games are about, because I think the gameplay is kind of slow. So people just watch it. They're just like, let me just fast forward past this part, and I just go and watch it. Maybe if that wasn't a thing, maybe the game would do better because people are naturally curious about the game. It is a game that is like people are curious about, but they just don't go and play. You know what I mean? So what I think is they just watch it. They just watch YouTube videos, or they watch, Twitch streams or Kick or whatever the hell. Because that's another problem that we have in the gaming industry nowadays. People aren't willing to put down their money. They rather just watch someone play that game.
And they still think they're gamers.
So that's another issue.
Yes.
Pardon?
And they still think they're gamers. That's a big thing now.
Exactly.
They rather watch somebody else play.
Appreciate this variety. Yeah, exactly. And then they'll tell you, "Oh my God, I loved it so much." And it's like, but you never bothered, you never played it. Oh yeah, but I watched someone play it for like 80 hours. It's like, well, that doesn't go back to the dev. Exactly. It doesn't mean anything.
That goes to the streamer.
It means a lot to the streamer, but it means nothing to the dev, so it doesn't go that way. There's no like profit sharing kind of thing,
Yeah.
So I mean, it's also another question that we should have, like an ethical question. Like, should streamers be allowed to stream an entire game? Like, because for me, I think they should not. I think they should only be allowed to stream like maybe 10 or 20% of the game, maybe through the first 2 or 3 hours, because otherwise you could have millions of people watching you play, especially a single player game, right? Because it hurts a single player game more. We have millions of people watching you, and out of those, 90% of them aren't going to care anymore because they've seen what happens at the end. The entire point.
The problem with that, the problem with that is there are a lot of people that are not gamers, but they love the personalities, the content creator personality.
That still doesn't mean that you can use my entire game and put it on stream for your people. Just go and find, go and put a Fortnite, because the Fortnite, there's no story, there's nothing to be shown other than a match. But you can stream 1,000 matches. But for single player games,
but you spent your money. You spend your money. If you spent your money on something, would you want somebody, like if you bought a car, would you want somebody to tell you what to do with your car? You paid your money for it.
No, but I wouldn't want someone to make money off of my car, off of my car's design.
Okay, but
for example, imagine with the car thing,
people have Uber,
imagine if
right?
a person takes apart my car, figures out how I engineered it, and then makes money selling my designs to like someone else. I'd be like, no,
there's a precedence. Property. There's a precedence for what M is saying, though. There is a precedence. Have you guys heard of like they rebranded, but have you guys ever heard of Beachbody.com?
Yeah.
Beachbody, yeah.
Yeah, they do
I have the app.
and stuff like that.
I have the app.
Yeah. So, unless it's changed, I remember because I was trying to decide on if I wanted to buy one of their programs, because when I was buying them on DVD. And the dude was like, I'm just gonna show you, the first such and such minutes of this workout. I can't go over that, because I don't want to get struck or whatever it is, right? Yeah. So for the Beachbody workouts, you can only like show a certain number of minutes before you get in trouble with Beachbody, for the exact same reason of what M is saying, because otherwise, people might monetize and just do the whole workout on YouTube.
Exactly.
So there's definitely a precedent for it, and it wouldn't be unreasonable for a studio to say something like that, because I mean, at the end, it's no different than like someone. I mean, there's nothing to prevent it, but someone buys one of my books and then reads the whole thing on YouTube.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
movies? Why in there streamers for movies? Because the movie industry doesn't allow you to do that. You can't just stream and watch along on Netflix and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna talk over it, so it's my content. No, you're streaming the entire thing on Netflix. Netflix wouldn't let you do that. Why do games? Why is it that we have to let that be allowed? Like you have a game like Elden Ring, people stream 120 hours of it to millions of people. That shouldn't be allowed. It should not be allowed. You should be able to stream like, I don't know, the first 10% of the game, or like each game should have like a thing where they're like, hey, you can stream up to level 3. Or like to like the, I don't know, chapter 3 or chapter 4, and then that's it. That's all you get in terms of content. You can introduce it to your audience, but then you move right back along. And then the publisher should be able to dictate for each game how much you are allowed to show on stream and how far you're allowed to take it. Because The Last of Us Part 2 is one of the most watched things ever. People will be like, oh my God, I hate the ending, but you stayed watching the entire 40-hour stream, and then you took all that content. And then the company doesn't get rewarded. It's not right. It's not right. You know.
And again, I agree. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I only brought it up because, you know, I just bought this game called Astro Blade, whatever. It just came out today. I played. If I was to, if I paid my money for this, and so my console has a streaming feature that would allow me to stream it. So I paid my money. I get to stream it. I see both sides of the equation, but I totally agree with you. There's people making money off of other people's work that could most likely prohibit people from actually buying the game and supporting themselves. But I also realize a lot of people go to content creators not because they want to watch them play games, it's because they like them. They like how funny they are when they stream. They like stuff like that.
How about these content creators are just funny by themselves then? Like, why do you need a game? Like, if they're so funny, if they're doing stand-up comedy, just go and do stand-up or sit-down comedy. Like, you're not allowed to steal someone's content and be like, oh, it's my flavor I put on top of it. Like, no, it's like, then why do you need the content? If you're so funny, stream yourself cooking.
What about this, M?
Right?
What if the developers, right? Let's say Naughty Dog would have put a streamer mode, a mode specifically for streamers.
Yeah.
That said, this won't be copyright striked or anything if you stream in this mode. And in that mode, right, every 5 minutes there's advertisements for Buy The Last of Us 2, and then there's like bars around it, and there's advertisement and other things where the developer can actually not only advertise the game but make money while other people make money.
I think that's true hard, because again, all the other industries have just figured out you can't just stream an entire book, you can't stream an entire movie, you can't even stream an entire song. So why is it that you can stream an entire game? That's ridiculous. Why are we pulling these other things that other industries have already figured out? Why just do the thing everyone else is doing? You know, like, don't be American about this. The rest of the world has it figured out. Just do what the rest of the world does. You can't stream an entire song. That's only a few minutes. Sometimes you can't even stream 30 seconds of a song. So why is it that you can stream 200 hours of a game? That's ridiculous. And that is killing gaming, because those people that are watching it are not going to buy it. You know, and again, I think it should be a publisher by publisher basis, where a publisher says, hey, you bought a license, right? Because that's what the game, you don't own a game, you have a license to the game. You have a license to the content in the game. And that license allows you to stream up to chapter 3. That's it. Anything beyond chapter 3, a single frame beyond chapter 3, we can demonetize you. I think it's perfectly reasonable. Because, for example, my little brother, he knows the entire story of God of War 2018. I have God of War 2018. I gave him a PlayStation. I gave him the game. And I'm like, play it. And he's like, why would I? And he's right. He already knows what happens. Why would he? You know? Because he's watching streamers. And I think the streaming industry has a big part to, it has a big role to play in the decline of gaming. Again, for Fortnite, they don't care. Fortnite streaming helps them. Of course, they're going to let you stream every single match of Fortnite. Like, shit, if you could stream 3 matches at once, they'll let you. So for them, they'll be like, for Fortnite, great. But if Epic went back and created a Gears of War for some reason in partnership with Microsoft, then they shouldn't allow you to stream every single thing of that Gears of War game. And you talked about The Last of Us specifically with Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog has a no-return mode, They could let you stream no-return mode at your house content. But a single-player story, they put a stipulation, up to chapter 3, that's all you're getting. Especially because with these single-player games, especially a game like Naughty Dog, where they try to challenge you as a player, as a gamer, try to make you experience things, if you have it spoiled for you and you're not playing through it, no wonder you misunderstand the story. No wonder you hate what happens in the game. Like, you literally have a misrepresentation of the themes and the subject matter because you didn't experience it the way you were meant to experience it.
That's true.
Okay.
I agree with you.
That's a good point, because, when I do, let's say, my content's answering back to other content creators or talking about something on other content creators like Destin Legary, right? Yeah. I don't stream his whole video. I don't, I only do a portion of it. And I'd be like, hey, if you want to see the rest, you got to go to his channel, see the rest of what we're talking about. Same thing like that. Because I don't want to, I don't feel right showing the entire content that they made on my channel. I'll do whatever my portion is, the rest. And if you want to see more about it, you got to go to their channel. And so I do kind of understand that, right? I say if the industry didn't push a fight for it, I don't know why, but I guess that's really what it is, right? Because the movie is true. Hell, I got copyrighted, for 10 seconds of a song.
Yeah.
So then I have to edit my video and silence it to get my monetization back. And that's like 10 seconds. Like literally they'd be like, oh, from, this 7-second clip, this creator, claimed it and now all revenue's going to that. I'm like, for fucking 7 seconds? The podcast 4 hours. Get out of here, so, that's a good point and stuff like that, right? Good point in saying that, I agree with, did people really want Alan Wake 2? And I will say this, Alan Wake, for me, wasn't a good game, and it didn't make much noise. I thought it was stupid. I didn't play Alan Wake 2, but I thought Alan Wake 1, I was like, I have a flashlight and I'm beating flying books. I'm like, this is like, Ramon's fucking horror house where he's trying to kill me with these monster-possessed books. I'm like, what the hell are we doing here? Like, I'm fighting books? That was pretty much Alan Wake. I'm like, I'm fighting books? Like, what are we talking about here, right? Like, this is weird and stuff. And then I think shortly after was Quantum Break. That was a little bit better. But I think Control, I was like, okay. And they were successful. Control was...
I'm looking forward to the second one. I'm really hoping they can... I'm hoping it'll be successful because Remedy can't catch a win to save their lives. And they put out quality
did with
stuff.
Control. Control was a win.
No, Control didn't sell a lot, didn't it?
Didn't?
It sold like... I think it only sold like 3 million across.
Yeah, it didn't like the world on fire.
That's 2.9 million more than Alan Wake. No, I'm lying. I'm just making Control. I'm exaggerating. No, but I think Alan Wake sold 1 million though, right?
They really can't catch a break. Like I hope Remedy can catch a win because 505 really set them up for failure with the Ultimate Edition of Control with the way they did that enhanced edition for the current gen console. So I'm hoping Remedy can get a win.
Yeah, and I knew Alan Wake was coming back because of the DLC in Control. When they, because they merged the world, so Control's in the world of Alan Wake, and I'm like, oh, Alan
it was
Wake's
in the same universe.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, Alan Wake is coming back. We'll see how this turn out, and it's just like kind of like how I predicted. No one really, I mean, across PC, PlayStation, Xbox, 1 million sales over like after a year. I'm like, that is wild, bro. And then they talk about Spider-Man. Oh, 10 million? That's it in 3 weeks? No one bought the game. Like, oh, these guys, they're terrible and stuff like that. All right. Hey, I want to move on to the next topic, and this one's going to be juicy. All right? Listen.
You got some super chats.
Oh, I got some super chats? Okay, let me read some super chats here. We got Mash. Mash is in the house. He gifted 10 memberships, so 10 of you just got some memberships. All right? If you were one of those 10 that received a gift from Mash, please tell him thank you. Right, truly appreciate it, and then of course start spamming the smileys. Right, I'll tell you what, this is my favorite right here. Right, so let them know, give him some show the man some love. Right, that's pretty cool. Thank you so much, Mash. Thank you so much for always rocking out and gifting the members some membership. Right, then we also got Bobo Country says streamers are the #1 cancer to gaming. Holy cow!
Not bad.
Well, I wouldn't say that because. Yeah. Streamers also are responsible for games taking off. So I mean, there's two sides to the coin.
They also do bring awareness and stuff too.
Yeah, they really do. Like Splitgate. I think Splitgate was obscure until like a popular streamer picked it up. If I remember correctly, it was it Splitgate.
I think so.
Yeah, it was one of them.
It's a multiplayer game.
One of them, right? So I mean, there's two sides. There's two sides to this. Like,
no, but for multiplayer games, they can do good. But
for multiplayer games, they can do good. But your chapter 3 thing is reasonable. Like, I think your up to chapter 3 thing is very reasonable. Yeah. And then like with battle, with the multiplayer games, streamers can literally give a game like just set it alive. So,
they can put live.
I don't think streamers are a cancer. It's just streamers are going to do what they do, but because there's no regulation. Like if there's no regulation against it, then why wouldn't they just stream the whole game, right?
Yeah,
but then when they put it if they were to say put some regulation against it, then if they still don't follow regulation, then you can say, okay, streamers are tripping. But I mean, they're just doing their thing, and nobody's told them, hey, you can't do this. So I mean, they're just doing what they do, So I think there's a place for things,
Okay.
Balance.
All right.
Look, streamers can definitely play a part and a role, but unchecked the way they've been, they have done more damage to single player games specifically than they have helped. You know, because again, for multiplayer games, you want them. It's literally building an audience, and especially for free games, you know, where a member of the audience doesn't have a barrier to entry, and the hardest part is literally getting eyeballs in front of your game. Like, obviously, that is a good thing, you know. But again, it's like when you leave it unregulated, you know, just as it can be good for one, you know, they're going to be bad for the other.
When it's too much.
So again, yeah, you know, like you have entire games, you know, like people will be like, oh my god, like I hated this game, you know, but I watched it for 80 hours, and it's like, okay, you must really loathe it, right? You really made sure you hated every single second of that 80-hour playthrough, you know, and then they'll be like, oh, I watched it for the streamer. Okay, put him in the toilet, watch him. Like,
I really wish there was some data. I wish there was some data to show, because I can't really speak on how detrimental it is because, you know, I haven't seen any data. I really wish we could have some data to know for certain how, you know, detrimental, if at all, they are to single player games. I can definitely see the argument for it being detrimental to single player games, but I really wish we had data on it.
That is a good, interesting topic though, because like Extreme said, other multimedia, like you said, no one's gonna read your book 100% on the internet, right? And you'll be like, wait a minute, you just read my book? Are you nuts? You know, same thing with movie shows, stuff like that, music. You know, it'll be interesting.
Well, yeah, audiobooks. Like, so many authors have been having to contact YouTube to get content creators like struck, because they're literally like narrating their books on YouTube. That's crazy. You know, they get subs for stuff like that, and so that's literally people not buying your audiobook. You know what I mean?
But they're listening to it. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. But they're still getting the audiobook, just not from you. So it's crazy, man.
So I wonder if the gaming industry, it'll be crazy if somebody in the industry is just listening to Extreme and they'll be like, we didn't even think of that.
Motherfucker,
good,
that's right.
Good job, Extreme.
They better hire me.
You snitch. You a snitch. Snitches get stitches. Extreme Stitch live on my podcast. Nobody was thinking about this. Now tomorrow, you're gonna see like a reset era. Industry looking into you're gonna see industry looking into limiting streamers from showing their games complete. I'm gonna be like, wow, this is wild. They're listening to Extreme.
There's no lag to the regulation.
Like,
they're listening to
you. They're listening to Extreme. Like, wow. All right. Shout out to Raji. He says, "Yo, Extreme, my African brother. Are you saying Nintendo was always right about claiming any video on YouTube? Streamers eating at a cost of devs? You know, yeah, Nintendo. No, actually, you're right. Nintendo did that. Like, you had to be part of their partnership program. If you weren't, and you try to stream them." Nintendo don't play. Nintendo,
listen.
God, Nintendo's ruthless.
And here's the thing.
Nintendo's
the
ruthless.
only thing Nintendo didn't do is it didn't put it in the terms of conditions or like on the actual box, like, hey, this is what you're not allowed to do. This is what I mean. Like, you know how we used to get like a little like pamphlet, a little booklet? It should be clearly stated for every game so that before you buy it, this is what you're allowed to stream. And if it's nothing, it should say right there, you're not allowed to stream this game. Don't even speak of this game. Don't show the trailer to this game. We don't want y'all.
Don't even let people know you bought it.
Don't even smell this game. Matter of fact, buy it and then put it back on the shelf. We don't care if you play it.
Oh, but that's a good point, Raji. That's a great point. Nintendo, they clamped down on that one, right? That's a good point. We'll see. If by next week we start seeing heat, that's on you. They saw you, and now they're acting on it.
That's okay.
You know what I'm saying? Snitch.
They better consult. Okay, I'll create a consultancy.
Oh, that'll be wild.
We'll get this money from these gamers that want these variety games.
There you go. That'll be wild. All right. So here's the next topic. All right, here we go. So apparently, I'm gonna put my flavor into this. Concord was so bad that Sony's like, you know what, Bungie, just take over. Like, screw it. Just these guys don't know what they're doing. It's yours now. You are now the sole controller. So let me put this up on the screen, because live service game now belongs to Bungie. They control all of it. It says Bungie employees start posting about moving to PlayStation on LinkedIn. It's still an uncertain time for the industry. Several former Bungie employees are revealing in public that they have started moving from their former employers to its parent company, PlayStation. Bridget O'Neill made this post on LinkedIn. Today was my last day at Bungie, but not our last day working at Destiny and Marathon. Bungie Creative Studio is joining PlayStation Studios to build a foundation for a creative team that can support all PlayStation Live Service games. As part of this move, I am taking on a new role as Senior Director of Creative at PlayStation Studios. Working on Destiny has been a dream of mine ever since getting lost in the Gorgon's Labyrinth back in D1 VOG. That's the Vault of Glass, because I was too distracted checking out all the environmental textures. Working at PlayStation was not even a dream because I never imagined it was possible. This opportunity to share our experience working on Bungie titles with other studios that are building live service games is so exciting. Live service is hard and comes with a unique set of challenges. So with PlayStation Bungie working together, we will be able to give a huge jumpstart on development for new games as they enter this super competitive market. I am grateful for all the amazing creatives and artists I had the opportunity to work with at Bungie. Can't wait to make more stuff with you. O'Neill was Senior Director of Creative Studios at Bungie, and she holds the same position today at Sony Interactive Entertainment. Levy Park made this post on his LinkedIn. I am excited to share that today is the start of my first week at PlayStation. I cannot overstate the role that Sony and PlayStation have played in my upbringing, design sensibilities, and personal interests, so it's all a bit surreal. Put simply, I am humbled to be joining this team. I am looking forward to continuing to support Bungie in the creative marketing efforts from the PlayStation side, as well as lend my efforts to the world-class team at Sony Interactive. I would also like to express gratitude for my time at Bungie and the chance to cut my teeth working on Destiny 2, a singular presence in the industry and a visual brand that I long admired. Specifically, I want to shout out and thank Garrett Moreland, Eric Littlejohn, Alex Grenling, Bridget O'Neill, and Alana Cervenak for their trust, encouragement, and mentorship over the last few years. Pack was visual design lead at Bungie and is now manager of design at Sony Interactive Entertainment. We won't link to more posts or accounts, but the other people Park named here are also from Bungie, some of whom are also moved to PlayStation. If you don't have access to LinkedIn, you can verify some of their identities and work on Moby Games. This follows the announcement from July of this year that Bungie would have to let go 1/3 of their workforce. As a reminder, the studio will retain 850 employees, 155 employees will move to other divisions of PlayStation, and 220 would unfortunately be laid off. O'Neill and Park are among the lucky 155 employees from Sony was able to retain in other positions in the company. They do not seem to be part of the team that is allegedly being formed to help spin off one of the games Bungie has in development. We also reported on rumors that Sony had completed their takeover of Bungie last August. These posts do seem to generally corroborate that has taken place. There was a likely a period of time when O'Neill, Park, and others were still getting their transfers processed through Sony's red tape. But at this time, it seemed Bungie was fighting to keep their independence from Sony. The rumors from Jeff Grubb suggested that the writing was on the wall, that they would lose control even before the release of Destiny 2, the final shape. We wish O'Neill and Park the best in their new journeys in PlayStation. With their former studio, current parent company, and the video game industry itself in flux, careers and lives can disappear or change just like that. So with that, new creative section of PlayStation, and they will oversee all live service games, right? Do you think Concord from internally, I'll start with Ramon, do you think Concord was like, you know what? This is huge. We're not, no, Bungie, take it all over. Get the best. We want you to supervise and really, we can't have another Concord. It's just not going to happen. What do you think, Ramon? You think this was Sony's like, clearly Bungie's the only one. Like, of course, Bungie had their up and down, right? But generally, they've been successful as a studio. Between Halo, Destiny 1, Destiny 2, of course, just like with any live service games, you're going to have your bad expansion packs. You're going to have great expansion packs, right? But do you think Concord was like, Sony, they couldn't be happy? What do you think, Ramon? What's your opinion with now Bungie having creative oversight, over PlayStation projects that are live service?
Let me go next thing.
What? Yeah.
Let me go after someone else because I gotta do something real quick.
Okay. J-Dub.
Yeah.
I know you like Sony get good. Do you think this is them trying to get good? You think that you like this move? What do you think?
I'm gonna be honest. When Sony bought them, they had an agreement that said you can remain independent for as long as you keep up X, Y, and Z. Right?
Right.
If the financing, if your performance and all of that gets below that, we'll probably give you a warning. But eventually it'll, at some point we're gonna, we're gonna have stipulations added where we get to come and take over and figure out what's the best way to proceed forward with Bungie. And obviously they've reached that point past multiple times. I don't think it was just as soon as you screw up the first time, that's it. I believe they gave them an opportunity to remain. Companies don't get bought out and then just can be allowed to just keep screwing up or lose money and all kind of stuff like that. There has to be some safeguards there. And obviously they've reached those safeguard limits. And so now Sony is trying to figure out the best way, and they got to come in and take over. They got to come in and do some, house cleaning, or come in and set some boundaries. And, and out of that, they created another studio and they moved some people in key places. And this is just a result of Bungie not keeping their end of the bargain. I don't think it's there's a lot of stuff you can blame Sony for, but with a corporation, when a division is failing to live up to its obligations, it's in the contract, right? Mm-hmm. Like for example, not to change the subject, but if I'm Satya Nadella and I got Phil Spencer there running the game division, and that gaming division is not profitable and it's not proceeding the way it should be, right? I'll give him a length of time to correct it. If he can't correct it, then I'm going to put somebody in his place or I'm going to step in and make some changes. And I think that's what's happening with all these games going over to PlayStation and stuff like that. They're reached some time where, hey, you're just not reaching your benchmarks. We're not getting bonuses. We're not getting X, Y, and Z. Game passes are growing. Now I'm finna step over. Now we're gonna make plenty of money because I'm putting people in key places, or I'm gonna step in and change your focus. And I think that's what Sony is doing, and rightfully so. They own the company.
Yeah. So
they own them.
So yes, I agree that they now own them because whatever terms they did, hey, we gave you the opportunity to be independent, but you didn't meet these terms. Yes. Now we own you. But while they now own them, it sounds like they rewarded Bungie because now, while Sony now owns Bungie operations, however you want to describe it, it sounds like they promoted Bungie and said, Bungie, you now not only are in charge of creative projects for Bungie, you now are going to oversee everything else. So you guys are going to now, we need certain amount of you, and you. Now you're going to oversee Haven. You're going to oversee Firewalk. If Sony Ben makes some slight service, you're going to supervise them. So it sounds like they got a promotion. Even though they got absorbed, but now it sounds like Bungie is in charge of PlayStation Live Service. So they went from being in charge of Bungie to now they're in charge of just PlayStation Live Service. Like, it's them. They're the creative studios now.
But you got to remember why Sony bought Bungie. They didn't buy Bungie because of Destiny. Yeah. They stated they bought them because their expertise in live service games and other areas that Sony didn't have expertise in.
Yeah.
And that's monetization. That's all kind of other areas that they had expertise. They actually created a whole separate studio. They pulled some key people from Bungie and stuck them on SIE side, Sony Entertainment side, right? So they got a whole new studio out of Bungie. And they put some other people, they moved some people out of their way, got rid of some people, but they put key people in place to expand Bungie to do what they want them to do. So it's not just the same old guy. Now, the developers are still there, but the management that are there's some people that didn't, they had to go. But
that's what I was getting ready to say to pick
and they took some big wigs from Sony themselves and stuck in there to go and manage that stuff. You don't have to change the whole Bungie structure. Bungie itself is successful. Destiny 2 is still successful, right? It's still one of the highest grossing games out there. Engaged it's on the top of the list every month, so it's still there. Is that Sony saw fit, and I think this was ultimately Sony's goal in the first place when they bought them. They already had these plans in place. They were hoping that they reached that contract, that failure was there. That's why they bought them. They knew that, whatever was going on with the same reason why Microsoft ended up buying ABK, right? They saw all these things were failing, and they got lawsuits and all this stuff that was going on with Bobby Kotick and the frat boy culture. They saw all of that, so that was the time, perfect time for them to swing in and say, "Hey, we're gonna make this stuff better. We're gonna remove Bobby Kotick. We're gonna do this and make it better," knowing that they had no. They didn't want to make it better. They want them to keep doing what they do, and at the end of the day, and that's printing money. So Sony got a new studio out of it. And they got to put their guys in place to not only keep things as is, status quo, but to have them to oversee other projects that wasn't even in their purview. So I think that's an overall Sony strategy that they chose. So I think we got to look at the bigger picture from the outside. These guys aren't dumb, right? I know we're fanboys or gamers out here quarterbacking, but these guys aren't fucking stupid, right? They don't become number one in gaming and making decisions by making stupid decisions. They know what they're doing. The shit, who knows? They probably fucking put Yoshida over some of that shit. We don't know, right? Yeah. They're just not being that transparent about what they're doing, but they're making this decision because they saw fit. If Destiny wasn't successful, if it wasn't making the money, right, they would already be pushing Marathon out the fucking door ASAP. Yeah. Okay. But they're not. Okay. That's just my opinion. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Hey, Ramon, going back to you, what do you think of this move of Bungie now overseeing creative projects over anything that's live service? Like for example, like for example, I think Sony Bend, rumor has it they're doing a single player multiplayer game, whatever. How do you feel that Bungie now will look over that from the multiplayer side? Do you think that's right? Or do you think like, man, let Sony Bend do what, like, how's your feeling of every time a Sony studio is going to do some type of live service, that these guys are now going to have influence and look over it?
You know, like, that's a tough one because like it really feels like that 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other type scenario. Because on the one hand,
because that's how I read it. Unless I'm reading it wrong. If anybody thinks I'm reading it wrong, please correct me. But that's how I'm kind of like reading the reaction. Like, oh yeah, I get to now. You know, I still work at Bungie, but now I get to look at other PlayStation games we created in this, and I'm like, it sounds like you're in charge of this project. Period. Across Bungie and Sony and whatever. That's how I read it. Maybe I'm reading it wrong. What do you guys? Yeah.
Well, that's why, you know. I mean, I don't know, like if without it being laid out exactly what their roles are. I mean, if we were to just assume, okay, they're they're overseeing these multiplayer projects. It's like, so you have studios that are single player studios. That's all they make. So having that guidance by people at the top of the game could be a big help. And like what J-Dub said, you know, it's not necessarily the management, but it's the actual the talent and the people who know what they're doing. The Final Shape is a perfect example of skill and talent versus management. The management was horrible, which is why the Final Shape didn't do well, because people had already had enough of Bungie's crap. But the actual product, the Final Shape, for, you know, like, I didn't play it, but everyone I know who's played it said it was like Avengers. It was like the Avengers of, you know, of gaming. Like, they were like, it just, the way they brought it all together was just masterfully done. Okay. So that shows you that. Good time. Yeah, right. So the talent who are doing the work, that could very well be a good thing. You know, as long as you don't have the management who tanked everything and made all these horrible decisions and fools showing people his cars and shit while he's about to lay them off. As long as you don't have that type of tripe, you know, swimming around through everything, then I think it could be a good thing. But, you know, I think that it's also has to be handled delicately, because now you're telling your studios filled with veterans, hey, we got somebody who's going to kind of like watch over what you're doing and make suggestions. So it really needs to be handled delicately on that end, and hopefully, you know, egos can be kept in check and everybody works together. So I think it's a balancing act, a very delicate balancing act, because another thing one of the things that I can't remember who it was from PlayStation that said it, but they're like, we don't just buy studios. There has to be a synergy, and I've heard other people who shout out to Game Logic, who said the same thing, where he's like, merging, uh, you know, mergers are also about synergy. I think it was him that said that, where you can't just buy a company and just throw everybody together. The culture has to be, they have to be able to integrate with the culture. The people have to match. So if Bungie has a different type of culture, those people are going to have to kind of like mesh together. So as long as those components can work properly and these people can mesh together and work together properly, and egos on either side don't get in the way, then I think it could be a very good thing. But I mean, we won't know until we start seeing the result or hearing what's going on next time Schreier has something to say. So
all right, okay, Extreme. I know you're a big multiplayer guy. Do you think this is a good move? Or do you think this is like the last chance for the live service strategy?
This is a great move.
I hope this absolutely fails. Because team single player. I'm playing.
This is a great move. This is a great move.
Go ahead.
Listen, what did J-Dub and I talk about the other day? Sony needed to get the people that were able to recognize, what a good multiplayer game is. We talked about them. They have had 2 decades now of creating single player games. So they have people in charge that are able to recognize good shit when it comes to single player games. But they have not been able to do that. This is finally Bungie being used to do what they were supposed to do in the first place. You were literally bought for this reason. In fact, it's only a shame that it took them this long before they created this creative oversight team at PlayStation using Bungie talent, because that's literally what the purchase was about, right? First of all, Bungie already saved Naughty Dog. So as far as I'm concerned, the OG in the clear. $3.6 billion is well worth it to save Naughty Dog. But now maybe they can save other studios too. Maybe they can go and, Guerrilla, hey, listen, that Horizon multiplayer game, you're not going to be able to do that and do all the shit. So let's just give it to someone else. Let's buy another studio or give it to like Firewalk because Concord didn't work out. Whatever it is, whatever it takes. We need the VIPs, okay? We need the management to be right. And we also need them to come from educated places, okay? Rather than getting someone from like Procter & Gamble and be like, hey, come and manage our live service division. So yeah, absolutely. It's a good thing. It's good that they have oversight over the entirety of PlayStation projects, because they will be able to steer all of those and at least away from all of the obvious, the obvious icebergs. Let's at least avoid the obvious failures. And hopefully they will get better at their jobs. PlayStation will develop a more successful multiplayer culture, and we as gamers will receive better products that we actually want.
All right. Well, that's a good point. Okay. All right. I like it. I'm saying, hey, if you guys like it, I love it. All right. Love it too. If you guys like it, I love it. All right. We'll see how it goes.
Listen. But you guys on Team Single Player, you've got Shuhei Yoshida.
Okay.
You've got Herman Holtz.
We got all the talent.
Got all of the talent.
We got
exactly.
we got Corey Barlog. We got Neil Druckmann.
Exactly. We've got Corey Barlog.
Like you need some wins, right? This is lopsided.
Who do we have?
This is lopsided. This is lopsided. All right. We'll give it to you. We'll be merciful gods. We're merciful God. We'll let you have. Hey, you never know, this might back you. Like you think this might, like, how far into Fair Games you think is ready? You think Fair Games is ready soon?
I hope they cancel that shit immediately. I already told you that is not a battlefront we are fighting on. What did I tell J-Dub the other day? I told him we are not fighting on this battlefront.
Yeah.
Okay? This will be won by the reserves or the conscripts alone. We do not care. So if these generals are coming in and they're like, hey, listen, we're not doing that. We're not doing that shit at all. I'm like, great. I didn't even think we're gonna win there.
Hey, I told you, right? I told you, we won the console war. So because we won the console war, it don't matter if we lose the live service. There's no live service war. We don't give a shit. We won. We don't care.
We gotta fight amongst ourselves. We're fighters. We don't know. We don't know any
championship belt.
Listen, you don't want to start no shit with us single player guys. We provide the goaties. We the goaties.
You remember?
You can't beat that.
Who did they marry in Game of Thrones? Like season 1, the Targaryen. Who did she marry? Which tribe did she marry into? The dragon lady.
Oh, the Dothraki, whatever they're called.
The Dothraki. Dothraki. Exactly. Remember how they say that at a wedding, it's not a wedding until at least one person is dead?
Yeah.
That's us right now. You know,
Oh,
PlayStation. We're gonna fight amongst each other. We're only warriors. We don't know how to do anything else. Even in victory, we're gonna attack someone. Okay. So it's gotta keep going.
Hey, listen, we still gotta fight the Unsullied.
I'm going after the $700 PC gamers.
There you go.
That's my new target.
We got new Battlefronts.
Listen, guys like slow mo.
Those are the Unsullied. Those are the Sullied.
Yeah, the Sullied. Yeah, I'm going. Guys like slow mo. Ramon, the real PC dudes. You guys are good. You're legit. But the $700 Walmart. Oh yeah, we getting this work. Y'all gonna get this work. Yeah. All right, y'all wanted it. Listen, no one invited you to the Thunderdome. You just jumped in the ring. I'm like, okay, you want to throw down? We throwing down and stuff like that. All right. Oh, Forte up is in here. He says, hey, speaking of $700 PC gamer, hey, Forte, what's going on, my brother?
$700. My GPU was double that price.
My man heard $700 PT. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna defend Walmart today.
My monitor cost that much money. I'm good.
He said shit. So he said the amount of RAM I put in was $700. What are you talking about?
No, my RAM is lacking. It's only 32 gigs. I need more.
He said only. It's just bare minimum.
I need 64. I need 64.
128 is where I'm going next.
128.
You really need 64? I mean, has anything gotten even
Yes, I need 64. Yes,
I need 64.
Content creators.
Yes.
Holy shit.
I
need 128.
Yo, hold up. I'm using 70% of my memory right now. Now. That's more than 32. I use my RAM.
Holy shit. What the heck?
And I'm not working. This is me not working.
I need 2,000 browser tabs open. Man,
exactly, man. Exactly.
But I got After Effects running right now, so that's taking about 90% of my RAM right now.
There you go. Hey, listen, if you're doing a new PC build, put 64 in there. You have no.
Oh yeah, that's the next step.
Yeah, I might go ahead and if I build my dream rig, then I might as well anyway.
Oh yeah, 64, man. At least I'll put 128 if I was doing more. If I was doing it again from the start.
I just wanted to come in because you guys, I heard this whole PlayStation on PlayStation fighting. I had to come in here and see why.
Of course. No, it's team single player. Team single player versus multiplayer.
Right.
Pick a side, bro.
You're scouting.
Hey, Forte, that's because we won the console war against the Xbox guys, so we got no choice but to fight each other and keep
what
things
console
going.
war?
Exactly. Exactly. You got it right. You right. No, you right.
We gotta fake fight each other just to keep entertainment going around here.
Yo, listen, Hey, listen, PS5 Pro, Craig OGP'd us against the 5090, so we've got to sharpen our swords. We've got to sharpen our swords. The OGP'd us against that. You know? And you know what? In here, we're gonna treat Craig like the homie. In here, we're gonna tell him he's wrong. But out there, we're all standing together, so we gotta
solidarity.
Yeah, exactly. Over here, we'll tell him, "Hey, stop, man! Stop going after this. Thing. This is not where we're gonna win." But out there, we're gonna put up the fight.
Hey, on Twitter, I'll be putting that battery in Craig's back. Yeah, Craig.
Exactly. Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Hey, you be gassing that dude.
No, I don't know, man. He be sending them up, bro.
What are you doing?
He be sending them up.
Hey, I be retweeting and liking all that stuff.
In public, we're like, yeah, boy, go for it. Stand on that shit.
He said, you got J-Lo be like, stand on 10 toes. I'm like, don't do it, bro.
DM's like, what is this dude talking about?
Yeah, exactly. In DM's you're like, hey, fall back. We're not going to win that one.
Bro. Let go.
You remember Iron Wolf Puerto Rock?
Oh, I remember
the Power of Forte Titans.
He was remember when he said that, when he said, what is it? Xbox on the cloud, would we have the Power of Forte Titans?
Power of Forte Titans, yeah. That's what Craig be sounding like.
There's a lot of crazy stuff said over the course of a generation.
The power of your Xbox Forte, cloud. Forte, we want you to know that we don't believe that. This whole 4090 business.
I said it right there. I'll be like, listen. Nah,
it's a work element. It's a work element.
Not doing that. Listen, I specifically made disclaimers.
Xbox gamers had 2 generations to say all that crazy shit.
And
Y'all
they
can
keep
let my
saying it.
brother Craig rock for a couple of months. That's all I'm saying.
Listen,
until 2 weeks from now, in day one, where we see that
Until we
PS5
get
Pro
that Pro,
booked by the 4090, we just see it just absolutely slandered.
We don't do that
thing.
Wakanda.
And then we're gonna be like, "Hey, Craig, we
All
told
he
you,
doing
bro.
is
we don't do that
listen,
Wakanda.
All he doing is preaching to the resistance that's left over there. You know, everybody else done either died or passed on or went to a different place.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying.
I'm
Shout
good,
out to-
bro.
They said in the chat, Craig's a visionary. I'm like, bro, nah. Like, my shout out to Craig, love the dude. But when he said that 4090, I'm like, oh my
Once they told me that all their games was going to PlayStation, I was like, well.
Yeah,
I got a PC. I don't need this. No BS. I had 3 Xboxes in my house. I want to say as a.
So you tried to get that console be number 1 on MPD. My man tried. He's like, we gotta get an MPD at least once.
I had 3 of them. So I had one Series X at my PC for content creation. Then I had one at our in our basement at our family TV, and then my daughter had her S in the room. So I was sitting there looking at my X, like no BS. I was just looking at my X, and I was like, "Why do I have you?" So I told my wife,
this was Forte like this.
So I went upstairs and I was talking to my daughter. I was like, "How would you like a Series X in your bedroom?" And she was like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "Yeah, you can have a Series X in your bedroom." She's like, "What I got to do?" I said, "Reset your Series S." She had the 1 terabyte. Reset your Series S, and I'm going to trade your Series S in, and I'm going to trade my Series X in, and you can have the Series X is at the TV and bring that in your room. She said, "Well, what's going to be downstairs? A PlayStation."
A PlayStation. What you think, girl?
And then she was like, "So why are you trading your stuff in?" I said, "Oh, Dad need a new CPU and stuff for his PC."
That's it. You got it.
I went to GameStop, traded in that Series X and that Series S last week when they were doing same as cash for credit. Got $600. So I'm like, so I'm just saving up a little bit more money so I can get that AMD Ryzen 7950 3DX, and then I'm good.
I thought he was gonna say. I thought he was gonna say the Pro. I thought you were about to say the Pro.
Oh, no, I'm good. Listen, as much as
I was about to say. I was about to say DJ Khaled and another one.
You were about to catch me. I saw your video.
I was like,
I saw it.
I was about to make a video. I'm like, we got another one.
I already saw it.
I would have put GameStop employee pre-orders the Pro. I was ready, boy.
I never used it. I sold on Facebook Marketplace. So really, so the dollar.
I was gonna put the GameStop employee pre-orders the Pro.
Listen, I had the power too, because every store had a certain amount, and my store had 1 left, and I was sitting there like,
you should have gotten.
Do I really want this?
You want it, bro. You want it.
And then I was like. And then I finally came to the realization. I say, no, I let a customer get that boy. It's not that. Forte, I don't mind.
My brother.
I think it's a great move that they're doing. $700 ain't crap for that system. That's awesome for what they're doing. But for me in general, I don't mind waiting. There was a God of War. No. Listen, there's only if there was one. I'm not pulling out the receipt. No, because the only way you would catch me, I'm telling you right now, Extreme. The only way you'll catch me with a PlayStation 5 Pro is if they give me one. Or if there was a God of War coming out within the next 2 years that was going to make me buy.
When Ghost of Yotei drops, when GTA 6 drops, it's okay. It's okay. I'm just trying to save you from yourself.
Forte, we're gonna help you. We're gonna help you. Forte, you said you let the PS5 wear.
You're forgetting he has a regular PS5.
No. We're gonna help him.
I have a regular PS5.
No. We got this guy. We got this guy. We're gonna help.
Remember, you were ahead when you said I'm gonna buy the CPU. You don't have to say nothing about PlayStation 5 Pro. Don't get it, but then when you do get it, no one's gonna.
No. We're gonna help you out.
Don't be like, the only way I'm gonna get it is
Forte.
Just
no. Listen.
Forte, we got you.
Listen,
we're gonna help you out.
I already did that one time with the PS4 Pro. I'm not.
No, that don't count. You should. Shit, listen. I could have told you don't buy that shit. If you would have listened to me.
No. I didn't pay for it. I didn't pay for that.
Listen, there's one little detail that makes it easy to stand firm on that, and it's PlayStation first party games don't suffer from some of the same things that even the third party exclusives do. You don't get a blurry 60 frames per second option like say with from what Final Fantasy 16 and 7 Rebirth, right? PlayStation first party games don't have that. So as long as you're fine playing at, and I mean, I'm saying fine playing at.
When Grand Theft Auto comes out, I'll be there. I'll still be there.
Listen, you guys,
buy that PS5.
Listen, you guys, terrible salesman. Listen,
Forte, you need to be on the books. I need you on those books.
You're gonna sell 20 copies out of nowhere. Don't make me buy your books right now.
Forte, let me help you out. Forte, let me help you out. I know. PS5.
I need you to sell it. Go ahead and sell it so you can make a video.
Listen, it's a beautiful machine. PS5 is a great machine, right? You have it. Where you have it at? You said downstairs with the family.
Yep, downstairs in a cool basement.
Yeah, and you got a nice TV, right? Nice big TV, right? Nice. It's not a TCL, right? What kind of TV is it?
Samsung, baby.
It's a Samsung.
C3.
Ooh, right, with the HDMI 2.1.
Oh yeah,
that's LG.
Yes,
so you got the OLED.
LG.
Ooh, you got an OLED. Right? HDMI
2.1.
Listen. That thing is like, that TV's looking at you. It's like, bro, you're going to have me play Grand Theft Auto on this thing right here? You're going to have me play. Listen, you really going to play. The day Grand Theft Auto 6 drops, I know you're going to play it. You ain't waiting 2 years. You ain't waiting.
Who said about waiting? I'm not waiting for
you're going to play it. That's
I'm
what I'm saying.
Gonna play.
Yeah, you're going to play it. And that TV's gonna look at you like, your TV, that OLED is gonna be like, bro.
And then guess what? A year later, I'm gonna play the definitive version.
No. We're not talking about a year. Listen. I have a story to tell you. I have a story to tell you, right? Like right now, I could go to the store. There is no guarantee I'm gonna come back from the store. So I don't look at life like, listen, that's how I live my life. I don't live for tomorrow. I live for right now. So you're playing Grand Theft Auto 6 on your PS5, and that OLED is like, yo.
Don't you live on the secure base right now?
Listen. I'm out in town. I live out in town. You know what I'm saying? I'm like Tupac.
This man live in a gated community. He ain't going nowhere.
We're happy married. You went to private school. Listen, dog. Listen to me.
This man over here in El Toro just perfectly.
Listen to me, brother. Listen to me, brother. Right? That TV, your TV's looking at you like, you really having me play this game at 30 frames? Is this how you treat me? Why are you disrespecting? You don't like your TV? Why are you disrespecting that TV playing Grand Theft Auto at 30 frames? Man. Listen, bro. Don't do that. Don't do that for your TV. No, screw the family. Listen, don't do that to listen, respect your OLED. Show some respect. It's giving you all it's got, and you're going to give it 30 frames? No. You're going to get that Pro. You're going to play Grand Theft Auto 6 at 60 frames, and then 2 years later, you'll play it at 120 frames. But at least you can say you were never a 30-frame pleb, ever. Don't do that. Listen.
It's too late for that.
Love yourself, bro. Love yourself, bro. Love yourself.
I love myself.
Kiss that TV. Says, baby, I got you. Get that Pro. You know what I'm saying? So I can make that video and be like, GameStop employee pre-orders the Pro. Get it.
Well, listen. I'll tell you this, and I said this on DPS with Ramon and Slow Mo, and we talked about this, and I told him I said Grand Theft Auto is the only thing that will make me break. It's just not going to make me break this year because there's no reason to break.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying.
So as of right
and
now,
plus you got a PS5. Trade in. Why did you trade in the PS5 and reduce costs from the Pro? You also get employee discount. You probably get the Pro for like $100.
No, I don't get no discount on no new one.
Really? You know?
No.
Here, how about this? You got Costco?
I do have a Costco, and Sam's Club.
Listen, I got you.
And DJ.
Got you. That's it.
I already know.
Listen, I got you.
Know. That's what guess what?
I got you.
Hold on, I gotta tell you.
Why'd you say yes?
Hold on, you ain't gotta. You can stop rubbing your hands. Hold on, I got my TV from there, so I already know.
No, but you can't trade in your TV. You can't do what you can do.
Well, they changed it. Let
me get in my Philly shell
stance. You can't do PCs no more either.
Yeah, let me show you. For the consoles, you can say, listen, this is what you're gonna do.
This man is up here about the box.
Listen. You're gonna have the PS5 Pro at Costco. You're gonna go to Costco. You're gonna buy it. That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna buy it, right? You know why? Because that's your PlayStation 6 right there. Because you're gonna buy it. You're gonna bring it home. You're gonna keep the receipt, tape it inside the box, put the box in the closet. 4 years from now, when the PlayStation 6 comes out, You're gonna unpack your PS5 Pro, put it back in a box, go back to Costco with the receipt, 100% refund. Give me that PlayStation 6. You're gonna keep the receipt, put it back in a box, take it home. 4 years later, go back to Costco, send it back, give me the PS6 Pro.
See, this is how
and you're gonna keep doing it,
end up dying.
bro. That's it.
Right, exactly.
Fuck. Listen, the economy's fucked anyway. Trump might win, so dude, fuck it. Listen, bro. Listen. You know how many years my brother told me about that, and I didn't listen to him. And he's finally got through my head. He's like, stop fucking buying. He says, I know, I get it. You get tax free. He's like, stop it, because once you buy that console once, you'll never have to spend money on a console again. Oh my god. So, bro, listen. Fuck the devs. I ain't supporting nobody. I support my wife and my kid. You guys know I don't support the industry. Screw that shit. It's about me, boy.
To return the game if you didn't like it, and people tore it off the hinges so bad that we got the exchange that we got now.
You know what I'm saying? So hey, but you know what? But notice how Forte is quiet. He's like, wait a minute.
No, I already knew about all this.
Forte's like, wait a minute.
I watch your videos.
Forte, but think about it. You buy that Pro, you pretty much bought the PlayStation 6.
Listen, you're talking about a person that literally buys warranties on GPUs. Like I bought a $200 warranty on my 4090 because Micro Center has a beautiful exchange policy. If anything goes wrong with this, even if I break it myself, I can take it back in there and get another one.
I'm telling you,
or actually not even get another one. Gets all my money on a gift card to go towards the next one. So I already know. So you know. So
listen, you're not buying the X-Boy handheld. You know you're not doing that. You're getting the PlayStation 6. So just pretend you're buying the PlayStation 6 now. You're investing. You're investing into the PlayStation 6. It's like prepaying for the PlayStation 6.
No, I'm with you on that. And listen, it's just not going to happen this year. It's no reason to.
Man, stop playing. We need
no reason this year. Listen, wait, hold on. Well, listen, I will give. I like I said, it's not like I'm saying it will never happen. It's just right now, I just can't see myself doing because there's nothing that I would play on it right now.
All right. So you're waiting for Wolverine. That's it. You're waiting for Wolverine.
Now.
He's like, well, yeah. I respect that. I respect that. He said, well, yeah, I respect that.
If there's a reason to go out and get it, there is a reason to go get it. You know, like I said, it's
just not right now.
The hardware. Just not right now. I was like, Christmas, 2 kids, a wife that want to go out of town next year. Shit, that's money.
Hey. Them kids, give them Amazon $20 gift cards.
No, we can't send them off to daycare. We got to take it. They got to come home at some point.
I'll be like, I'll give them a $20 gift card. Here you go. Don't spend it all in one place.
I'm just gonna wait.
Daddy got to get the Pro. Daddy got to get the Pro. I don't know what to tell y'all. Right?
now, though, I will say the hardest part of this is going to be watching people because the reason I ended up getting a PlayStation 4, because hardcore Xbox, I wasn't going to get a PlayStation 4 at launch. The whole reason I ended up getting a PlayStation 4 because it came out the week before Xbox, and watching customers walk into the store buying PlayStations made me anxious. It made me so anxious. I was sitting there like, what am I missing?
They just kept.
And then I was like, you know what? Let me play Killzone, which was okay. So I ended up buying I love Killzone. I love the Killzone franchise. That was the reason I bought the PlayStation 4. But for the most part, I bought my PlayStation 4 because I was jealous of people buying it and I didn't have one.
That FOMO kicked in.
The FOMO got me from the
that
PlayStation
shit
4.
got you bad.
My wife also got me too because when I came home the day it came out, she knew it was coming out. She was like, "Hey, where's your PlayStation?" I was like, "I didn't get one." She's like, "Why not?" Because I'm getting the next box the next week. She's like, "Go and get yourself a PlayStation. You know you want it." I was like, "Are you telling me I can go buy a play?" Then once she gave me the bill, I was like, "Oh, let's go." And I bought a PlayStation home the next day. So
even your wife knew Xbox was dog shit, man. Look at that, good woman. That's a good woman right there.
Well, she plays. Well, if anything, she'll be the reason I buy a PlayStation 5 Pro day one.
We're gonna have to hit her up.
She plays. She's the Grand Theft Auto person in the house.
We're gonna have to hit her up.
She's the one.
I'm gonna tell her, hey, your husband's trying to have you play Grand Theft Auto at 30 frames. You should slap him.
Nah,
I play. He said, "Nah, I'm good.
We good out here, bro."
All right, no doubt, brother.
Nice try, though. Nice try. Okay. But I respect it. It's definitely worth it.
Don't let me catch you.
Everybody should go out and get that.
I'm gonna make a video. Don't let me catch you with that Pro, dog. I hope.
So what's the statute of limitation up on that? What's the statute of limitation up on that?
By the end of January. By the end of January. If you buy from now to the end of January.
From now to January, but after, if I get it next year, I'm good after January.
Like February 1st. I'll give you a reprieve.
Y'all lucky. You talking about $700 for that thing?
Oh, yours is like $9.
After tax, my PS5 was $702.
Listen. Let me tell you something.
So that makes my decision very easy.
No. Listen, you got plenty of money because you got free healthcare, so you got plenty of money.
I haven't even bothered to look, but it's probably somewhere around $800 or $900.
Yeah, listen, that's chump change because you got free healthcare. You got plenty of money to spend.
I also live in British Columbia, bro.
Shit!
The only place I've seen that's more expensive is north, like San Francisco.
Oh shit! You know, my bad, man. Like, no, man, that's
you love it.
All right, let me move on to the last topic. Right here we go. Naughty Dog. Right, it's apparently. Next Naughty Dog game will offer a lot of player freedom. Contrary to the linear story-driven titles developed by Naughty Dog, the studio's next game will apparently offer a lot of player freedom based on the latest report. During the latest episode, it says during the latest episode of the Mini Max show on YouTube, host Ben Hansen mentioned hearing a few things about the next game from Naughty Dog, including comparisons to a game with a lot of player freedom. Hansen heard from somebody very in the know who worked on the next Naughty Dog game that people are not ready for how amazing it is going to be. He also mentioned that the game that will reference as a point of comparison to Naughty Dog's title has a lot of player freedom. MinMax refrained from mentioning the name of the game Naughty Dog's next title was compared to by his source, and for good reason. It's best to create any kind of preconceived notions in the minds of fans and let them judge the Uncharted and The Last of Us developers' new game on its own merits once it has been revealed. We look forward to that whenever that may happen. For now, all we can do is speculate about the kind of player freedom that it may offer, especially in comparison to the studio's previous work. Earlier this year, during an interview with the YouTube Logically Speaking, Naughty Dog president and game director Neil Druckmann had shared that the studio's next game is really ambitious. He added that parts of the game are really hard to work on. However, he said that he has surrendered to knowing that it is going to be really hard and to knowing that it is going to be stressful for members of the development team. Despite the stressful nature of the game's development, Druckmann stated that he wants to make a joyful experience for himself and everybody else on the team. Now, the one thing I want to add to that statement, I remember Druckmann did mention giving praise to Elden Ring for its freedom of telling a story without actually telling the story, where the player kind of develops the stories in its own movement, because he did make a mention he did really enjoy how, you know, that played out. So I would imagine this well-known game is Elden Ring, and just because like last year, that was like last year or a year and a half ago, he did, you know, Neil Druckmann did say he was interested in that, and he liked the way Elden Ring had a story without directly telling it. It just kind of formed it up on its own. So I remember that. So now it's kind of give me that thing, right? So I'll start with Extreme. How do you feel with potentially Naughty Dog's next game trying to, and I know it's all speculation, but given Neil Druckmann did praise Elden Ring for the way of his storytelling, right? How would you feel if that's Neil Druckmann's direction for this upcoming game? Elden Ring style storytelling. That's not really storytelling.
Listen, we're very fortunate, you know what I mean? To know a writer in Ramon, right? Ramon is a writer. He knows the different types of writing and storytelling that you can do. And I can tell you, I do not enjoy the Souls-like storytelling. I think it's cowardly. I think you are not actually saying anything. I need something much more concrete than just lore and world building and background shit. You know, like if you're trying to, like, listen, this isn't a Lego blocks. I'm not trying to piece a story together. Give me a narrative, okay? And everything that Elden Ring does really well is world building and lore. But I need an actual narrative so that when I'm going through the story, I actually have a plot and I actually have things that are happening around me. So I don't particularly like that idea. I do not mind if they are less heavy-handed with the storytelling, if they find a balance between the two approaches, you know, where they are not so vague as Elden Ring, but they are also maybe not so heavy-handed as The Last of Us, if that's the thing that they feel. Personally, if I had to choose one side or the other, I would take The Last of Us type of storytelling every single time. That's just me. Those are the stories that I enjoy. But I think that there is a way to tell a more expensive story, you know, like something a little bit broader in scope, and something that maybe has a little bit more subtlety and nuances, and a little bit more, I guess, elements that are not so concrete. Maybe there's something like Returnal kind of tried to do that. I still think Returnal is a little bit too vague for me, especially the ending. I don't like necessarily the way that story wrapped up, but it kind of has that thing where you are definitely going through a narrative, but there is a lot of world building, there is a lot of lore, and there's also a lot of things that are left open to interpretation. Okay? If they find a better balance between a Returnal and The Last of Us, maybe that could be interesting, but that's not the thing I'm looking forward to. The thing I'm looking forward to is that this apparently is going to be a sci-fi game. And what I've kept wanting from Sony is a sci-fi game. Okay? I've kept saying I want, especially space. Like, if they go into space, that's even better. I need a big, massive space sci-fi RPG type game. Something that's going to make the Mass Effect Part 2 spiritual successor. That's really what I'm looking for. So I'm more interested in the genre of the game than I am about these speculations as to the type of story that will be told. Because honestly, I don't think that moving towards Elden Ring is a good move.
Okay, good point. All right, let's go over to Forte. Forte, what do you think about that? Do you like the idea that they're trying to dip in potentially in this little freedom, or do you prefer a classic, Naughty Dog, do your thing, a nice consistent narrative style?
I'm kind of with Extreme. I feel like it's lazy. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that direction of storytelling, because the one thing I will say with Souls games is more of just the backdrop. I mean, it's pretty much the same. Like if you think about Destiny, because Destiny has a bunch. It's all world building. It really didn't get to the point of really just talking about actually engaging in the story elements until you got into the last 3 to 4 years of Destiny. Before that, everything was offline, off the game.
Bad.
It was terrible.
But Destiny year 1. Like, you didn't know shit. Like, what the fuck is going on? You had to go offline.
Yeah, you literally had to go off site to read about the lore, and the lore is deep as hell in that game, but it's all offline. Yeah. So when I hear like expansive and freedom and stuff like that, I'm like, that's basically you taking a shortcut and telling me to paint my own adventure at a certain point. So I don't mind it, but when it comes to like being crafted, the story elements that they crafted under that studio since I've been playing them, I prefer that level of engagement. Like he said, like Stream said, less heavy-handed when it comes to some of the story elements. Maybe cut back on some of the stuff that kind of bloats the game out, because I do think that's one of the biggest problems they have with the game. Is like they try to do too much by adding more time to the game versus just letting you inherently just experience the game from beginning to end in a natural progression, instead of telling you like, hey, you did all this, head over here and experience this from a different point of view. I know that's kind of only happened in the last 2 games, but that was just something that kind of just stuck with me. Doesn't change the fact that it was a great game, but that was still something that happened. But for me, I just want a story that has a beginning, middle, and end. And I don't have to think about the elements of the story when I stop and see a dead body on the ground and read a letter and say, oh, this is why this is happening in this area, and kind of, get my own thoughts and opinions about how I feel about that versus the characters and the environments, and then just the storytelling itself telling me how I should feel about it. And then I have my own opinion on it after the fact. So I just enjoy traditional storytelling, because guess what? It keeps me on track with the game. I feel like that's the biggest thing for me. Like, I don't like playing 30, 40, 50 hour. Well, I won't say 30 or 40, 50, 60 hour games, especially when if the story is told correctly, I can have the same experience in 25 to 30. And then those are the experiences I can have with customers. Like, I'll tell you this, like we were talking about, a customer came into the store yesterday. We were talking about single player games, and he was like, hey, he said, I played Last of Us. I played this. I played that. I played all the first party studios for PlayStation. He said, what other first person games can I play? And I told him about Dead Space. I told him about, Mass Effect, and a customer was in the store. It was like, yeah, Mass Effect's awesome. And I pulled her. I said, which one? Which one's your best one? I said, we'll be friends if you say the right one. She said, Mass Effect 2. and we went into a 20-minute conversation about how not even just how the story ended, but how the experience of that story was from beginning to end, and how both of us had the same thing that happened to us, where the first one didn't impact us as much as we thought it did until we got to the second one. And you started thinking about how your player progression and stuff happening. And guess what? That was in an open, free world game where you make decisions that you had to make. But guess what? The game, it didn't handcuff you, but it kind of narrowly took you in a direction where you're like, this makes sense. And by the time you were done with it, it ended up being one of the best things you play. And that's like, when I could talk to a person about a story like that, that's what I want. And the same thing happened with BioShock Infinite. When I finished BioShock Infinite, I got to the end of that game. I had full-blown conversations with people in person at the store for 20, 30 minutes about how all three of those games impacted in different ways and how that story progressed in different ways. And I think those are better ways of telling stories because they're more memorable, because everybody has the same experience, but also everybody has a different way of how they took it. Mm-hmm. And that's how I look at it.
Okay. All right. Good. Okay. Nice.
Interesting. Yo, first of all, Forte is absolutely right. Mass Effect 2, one of the greatest stories ever told in gaming. You know, one of those things that is a touchstone for so many of us that played it. And I just enjoy that's to me is storytelling. You know, that is actually like this. And the thing is, the world of Mass Effect has huge amount. Remember the codex in Mass Effect 2?
It's
that
huge.
Motherfucker was a whole novel by itself. So it's like, if you like lore and world building, great. It's there for you. But there is an actual narrative, an actual plot that your actual characters are going through, and it's actually happening right now. I don't like a Souls-like storytelling. I agree with you, Forte. It's lazy, it's cowardly to me, and it's literally just you not having an actual writing room and just be like, well, we'll just say in 1775, whoever fucking eons ago, this statue was built, now it's broken. Wow, meaningful.
Right, like the game tells you about the genophage and why it's bad and why this happened to the Krogans and stuff, and you go to free the Krogans or you go to liberate the Krogans on the planet, and when that happens, you just do it because the game is like telling you to do it. But guess what? If you want to know more about why this is happening, the Codex is there for you.
Yep.
So you get a deeper understanding if you want it. I always feel like when you have a component that tells you more if you want it, like Xbox partner preview, and it was okay. But we were talking about why I liked it so much. I love the fact that they just showed trailer after trailer after trailer, but after each trailer, if you wanted to know more about that trailer or know more about the developer and know more about what was going on, you could just go to Xbox Wire. They told you after every last one. And I was like, that's the perfect way to illustrate showing off something to people that just want to see what the actual game looks like or what the presentation of it is. And then if you want to actually know more about it, go somewhere else and find out about it. And that's what I expected. That's what I kind of want from my games too. I just want my games to like put me in a direction, put me on this track that probably has branching paths. But as I'm going through those branching paths, if I want to find out about more about what's going on, I can always find that in the game if I want to. And I feel like that's the best level of storytelling you could tell in the game.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Especially like games like Metal Gear Solid had that.
Yes.
Can I just jump in real quick because then I got to bounce.
Okay, go ahead.
I can appreciate it does take a level of it does take some attention to detail and skill to do lore type storytelling like Elden Ring and the Souls games. However, I don't particularly like. I would like it more if I had tons more time to do that, because there's a lot of people who are lore diggers and they dig in the lore and they piece it all together. And, it's almost like being an archaeologist. You know what I mean? So like the type of storytelling that Souls type games FromSoft does is it's enticing to the narrative archaeologist. So I can appreciate that, even if I don't particularly care for it as much, because I just don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Like that's not why I'm here, but I can appreciate it. That said, Naughty Dog can only go up from where they're at for me as it is, because They lost. My last great enjoyment from them was Uncharted Lost Legacy. I don't particularly care for dystopians and post-apocalyptic, and I really don't care for depressing stories. So, and that's not speaking to the quality of their games or anything. It's just that's where they lost me because I don't like those types of games. So they can only go up for me. As far as more freedom and this and that, with the level of detail that they obsess over, that part is exciting. Storytelling like FromSoft makes me less interested. So they've been on wait and see status for me for years now anyway. So I'm not excited about it. I'm curious. I'm not even looking forward to it. I'm just curious because I don't, Naughty Dog used to be my favorite developer. Now they're just kind of like, let's see what they do. So I think there's potential there in terms of the world building and everything and the attention to detail that they're known for. Narratively, what I've heard doesn't excite me. So everything that Forte said about Mass Effect is exactly it. First time I walked on that bridge in Mass Effect 2 for the first time of the New Normandy, it felt like I was playing like not a Star Trek movie, but kind of like a Star Trek movie. You know what I mean? I walk on the bridge, the captain on the bridge, and then the music was just right. The dialogue and everything, the acting, the whole set piece, like when you walk on that ship on the bridge and everything that's just happening around you, I felt like I was right there. I felt like I was right there. And, there's something to be said about that. So, it's two different writing styles. I don't particularly care for the lore hunting style, but I can understand why it's attractive to some. So for me, it's going to be wait and see.
Good point. For me, because I mentioned Elden Ring, and I
got to roll out. Thanks for having me. It's always fun, guys. Appreciate it, and you guys have a good night.
Have a good night, man.
Thank you so much.
I'll be listening.
Thank you for coming through.
Right,
Thank you, T-Rock.
See you later, Trevor.
All right. Now, for me, so like,
see you, Forte.
Trevor. For me though, it depends on the type of game, right? So that type of storytelling, like in Elden Ring or even Bloodborne, it works because a good big portion of the game is primarily the gameplay itself, the challenge.
Exactly.
The cheesiness. So that you focus more on that, and the little side stories is all that stuff, right? So it's really the gameplay of these Souls games that carry it through. So you don't really need a narrative. You could explore, get lost, because part of getting lost is getting messed up. You walk in this thing, and all of a sudden there's a goddamn dragon that just breathes fire in your ass. You're like, okay, I ain't gonna walk into that shit again. You understand what I'm saying? Or you walk in the sewers and you got them ugly ass toads that they spray shit and you instantly die. You know what I'm saying? So part of what makes that type of storytelling good is the unknown and the danger associated with it, trying to explore this world, right? Does Naughty Dog gonna make that type of game? Because if they make a game that's more focused, if Naughty Dog makes a game that's focused, but try to do the story, I just don't. I mean, I don't know what type of game they're gonna make that would make this storytelling work. I know it works for Souls games, especially from software, because getting lost, the danger is like the story is not even half of the game. Majority of it is the exploring the dangers and be like, all right, what's here? Who's there? How do I beat it? How do I pass this area? What I got to do to master this area? And then, the little freedom of story is fine with that. It's holistic to me. To me, from software, it's not like the storytelling is not by itself. They just know how to craft and make it work as a synergy product. And I think that's where it's worked. But imagine Mass Effect, but with the story style of Elden Ring. It's not going to work. Like, none of this shit makes sense. Like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm kind of concerned, like, if this is what they're trying to do, then what type of game you're trying to make. And that's what makes me, I don't want to say nervous, but that's what got me intrigued. And not in a good or bad way, but just like, what you trying to do, Naughty Dog? Like, what kind of game are you trying to actually make that this is the style of storytelling you're willing to do, right? Is it an RPG? Is it an open world RPG? I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
Well, that was
Go ahead.
Yeah, that was my thoughts on it when you first said that. I was like, what kind of game are they making, and what kind of game does he think Elden Ring is? Because everybody that plays Elden Ring will tell you Elden Ring's story is literally the last thing that they think of.
Yeah. True.
They'll tell you that it's a good story because, you know, as you play 100 hours of it, you kind of just immerse yourself in just the things, and you kind of just over the course of time find yourself learning more about what's happening in the world. But for a person that's just picking up the game, it's like, what's going on in this game? Because that's literally what Elden Ring is. It's like you have to put the time in to even get to the point where you understand that game. Oh. And most people that even play the game and beat it, like Slow-Mo, the first thing he'll tell you is the stories. He said, I like the story in Elden Ring, but you don't play Elden Ring for the story. You literally just play it because of the gameplay.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting.
How hard it is, too.
You know? But that's really the crux, so it kind of works well, right? And it is true. You make a good point. As you explore more, you just naturally start learning more things because it just naturally delivers, right? But that's part of the gameplay. I'm just wondering, all right, Naughty Dog, like, what are you planning to do for your next game and stuff like that? I honestly thought the next game was going to be like The Last of Us 3, just simply because they got the momentum, they got the TV show and stuff like that. Maybe it is. Maybe this game is, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's just.
I don't think it should be The Last of Us 3.
You don't think it should be something new? Give it a little breath?
Yeah, they need, and the thing is, The Last of Us 3 is just one of those things where it's like, you've been in The Last of Us universe for too long, you know, just the mood, the tone, like Roman was saying, you know, it's a depressing game, you know, it's a heavy emotionally thing, you know, they had to look at like photos of, what is it, like people being hanged and everything in order to like be able to like do that justice, people being choked, people being killed in horrible ways. You shouldn't subject your people to that all the time, you know, or at least you should have a breather in between. Be like, hey, we're going to make something a little bit more joyful, you know, or at least the conflict is going to be a little bit different. So, yeah, I want them to do a sci-fi game. I've always wanted Naughty Dog to do a sci-fi game, and I want them to be in space. That's always been my thing. I've been asking for this for like 2 years now. But yeah, in terms of storytelling, look, when you talk about Bloodborne and Elden Ring, I remember I was playing Bloodborne and I was like, they were like, oh, save this city of Yarn or whatever. And I was just like, what the fuck would I care? Like, I don't know anyone here. Like, they're like, oh, you're a hunter. Like, why? Like, why can't I be a baker? Like, what's the story setup? You haven't given me any narrative incentive to do the things that I do. And I understand other gamers are like, yeah, I can be whoever I want. Me, I'm like, can I have direction? Can I actually give a fuck about this world? Just a little bit. Like, I don't need much. Like, Returnal doesn't give you a lot. Returnal is like, hey, you crash landed. Get the fuck off this rock. Okay, good enough for me. Like, at least I know what I want. At least I know who I am. I know what my backstory is. I'm an adventurer. I'm an explorer. I'm a scout for the space agency. You know? Great. Good. I have some kind of context. So, yeah, I think that... From software style of storytelling, I just find it lazy and cowardly. I just go hire actual writers and give an actual narrative to your game. Then, you know, you can have all the world building that you want. For example, when George R.R. Martin was supposed to be the one writing the story for Elden Ring, I was like, like, obviously this is an actual writer. You actually hired him. Let's go ahead and do it. And then he did like 300 years of backstory and never created an actual story in the game. I'm like, okay, what the fuck's the point with that then?
All right. Okay.
That's interesting.
All right. Okay. So that wraps up the topic. Unless one of you three gentlemen have something you want to talk about, but we hit up the topics for the show.
I have one thing. Now that Bungie is probably owned by Sony, like how you were saying, do you think they will make a SOCOM game in the future?
Oh man, here we go.
Let that.
Shout out to SNK. I don't know how you jumped that leap. Bungie, my man want that SOCOM out. He's like, yo, somebody, listen, you better write a letter to Bungie.
Man, people have been asking for this game. You know what I mean?
I mean, people have been asking for Bloodborne too. Yo, 60 frames per second, and that still ain't came.
Yo, my man, I did not expect that. That leap from Bungie to SOCOM. Man. I'm like, oh shit, yo, we gonna get a SOCOM now? Yo, you should go on Twitter and like, you know,
tag him.
Like the one, like the lady that says she's now works as creative lead. Oh, so that means we're getting SOCOM? Like, listen, man, do it, my brother. You do it, I will retweet it.
Gotta say it.
Yeah, listen, I got your back. I will co-sign it. I will co-sign it. I will co-sign that one multiplayer game. I will co-sign. SOCOM's the only multiplayer game I will co-sign. That's the only one.
All
right. My man said, "Yo, you think we're gonna get SOCOM now that they bought Bungie? Bungie's in charge." I'm like, man, you wishful thinking, brother. We'll see. Wishful thinking. Listen, from your mouth to God's ears, all right?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
On, shit! I did not expect that topic. I'm like, yo, I thought you were gonna talk about something like, how things are gonna go, whatever. My man say, with Bungie, now taking over, we're gonna get a SOCOM. I'm like, wait, what?
SOCOM?
Where the hell that came from? Like, yo, my man said,
they now they own them. They got to do something, man.
It's SOCOM.
SOCOM. Let them manage and keep making Destiny content.
That's it. All right. I know you don't want that to end, right, Forte?
No, I'm done. I haven't. I jumped off that bandwagon like 3-4 months ago.
Okay. All right. You lasted. You lasted way longer than me.
Man, I can't do that again.
Oh man, that shit takes up time.
It was fun though.
Yeah,
it was fun.
Yeah.
But nah.
I can't even remember the last raid I did.
Too many games passed by playing that game. Got a lot of friends out of it, though. I will say that.
Which game was this? Destiny?
Yeah. Got a lot of friends out of that game.
Yeah. All right. I mean, yeah, that was a phenom. That shit, yeah. But I had to stop. Too a long time ago. I stopped. I tried to get back. I'm like, nah, I can't. It's like trying to be alcoholic again. I'm like, nah, I gotta resist the bottle. I gotta resist the bottle. I had to resist the bottle.
No,
I can't do it, bro.
Let me tell you. So yes,
because it make you stop playing a lot of games. It does.
So let me tell you. So yeah, it does. So let me tell you. So the last time not the last time. The last time I really played the game was like 3-4 months ago. So I deleted it off my Xbox, but then I was sitting here like reinstalling because I did a fresh install of Windows on my PC because I do it once a year, and I was just like say, oh shoot, I never played Destiny on this 4090. Let me see. So
just to see, right? Just to test it.
Just to see.
That's what y'all do. Yeah, y'all count frames.
Just to see what
count
I was
pixels
missing.
and frames. Yeah.
So I jumped. Yeah, exactly. So I jumped into the game. It gave me like this cool illustration that they always do when you haven't played in a while, showing you all the stuff that's in the game and trying to get you back in.
The best graphics.
And then the game. It instantly dropped me in the mission, and I was like, oh, I remember this. It just drop you in a mission, and you don't know what's going on. So I was too lazy. I'm at my PC. I'm too lazy. I don't want to walk over and grab my Elite controller or my Edge controller. So I'm playing keyboard and mouse, and I'm like struggling because I haven't played keyboard and a mouse in a while. So I finished the mission, and then it took me to an NPC, and I instantly in my mind got PTSD. It was like I hit escape and F1 on my keyboard, exit to dashboard, it was done. I was like, every time I played the game, I've always experienced finishing a mission, going to an NPC, and then instantly the NPC opens up and shows you all the bounties and all the things you could do on that area. And I was like, no. And then I exit the game, calmly deleted it off my Steam account. Deleted it from Steam. And I'm like, I'm good. So it was worth it. It was fun. It plays really good. People do not realize how great that game plays. Okay. They do not understand.
It does. It's great playing game. All right. Okay.
So all Bungie, right. so PlayStation.
You almost fell off the wagon.
Out there in
you almost fell off the wagon. All right.
Oh no, I wasn't falling off that wagon, bro. You know how many games I missed over 7-10 years?
I know. Well, now I haven't been that long, but I remember like the only 2 games I was playing for maybe like a good solid year and a half was Elder Scrolls Online and Destiny. Like almost 2 years.
The only game,
you know what? I gotta stop because I'm missing out on games. Like I cut them both off. Like because that's all I was doing. If I wasn't playing Destiny, I was on Elder Scrolls Online. If I wasn't on Elder Scrolls Online, I was playing Destiny. Oh my god! Like I gotta stop.
Yeah, it was only 5 games over the course of that 10 years that got me off. Was both the God of War games, both Spider-Man games. I count those as 1-1 because they're the same franchise. Both Zelda games because I'm more of a Zelda fan than I am a Destiny fan. Halo Infinite got me off of it because I wanted to play that. And what was the name of that game that came out on PlayStation? Oh, Last of Us 2.
Okay.
Those are the only games that got me off Destiny. Like it got me off long enough to play those, and then I was right back in it.
I've been stopped playing Destiny. Like,
well, you haven't played Ghost of Tsushima?
Nope.
Wow.
Nope.
Hey, it's on PC now. It's on PC.
I know.
Hey.
I'm waiting for Green Man Gaming to tell me that it's $30 and I ain't got to pay $60 for it.
It's still 60 on PC. It's still 60 on PC.
It's still 60 on PC.
Wow.
As it should be.
Sony ain't playing
around.
No,
it should. No, I don't disagree with it being 60, but
Sony thinks they're.
I don't disagree.
Sony thinks they're Nintendo.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
What's wrong with them?
Yeah.
Like you ain't Nintendo.
I'm just waiting for Green Man to give me that 25% off coupon that makes it at least 40.
All right.
Then I'll buy it.
Okay. So we got some topic. We got
the funny thing is though, P-Rock, I have that game on my PS5.
No, you know what it is?
PS5 Pro.
You want to play it on the Pro. The Pro will make you play. Yeah.
It's on my PC.
Yeah,
now.
listen. You wanted a reason.
I also got
no,
both
but you didn't
Horizon
buy it on
too.
PC. You didn't buy it. So now you got your reason to get the Pro.
Remake? You're gonna get the remake on PC?
You talking about
Horizon?
No.
What do you mean no?
What, the same game that they should have just gave us as let's be free.
You know what? Let's be friends.
No.
Let's stop that.
No. You know how? Wait. Hold on. No. I'm just saying because there has been a precedent set on PC where I have gotten every version of Elder Scrolls. Anytime they put out any version of Elder Scrolls for Skyrim, it's always been a free update for PC. You never had to pay for it.
You're comparing Horizon to fucking
Elder.
Let's be friends.
Well, first of all, Horizon 1's story is like abysmal.
You know what?
It's abysmal. You know it's abysmal. That woman can't speak.
Extreme is about to pop off.
No, we're gonna be friends. We're gonna be friends in street.
Extreme's about to pop off. Keep going that direction. You're gonna get the worst of them.
I've never met anybody. I mean, you know what? I would respect because I've never met anybody that truly. It seems like he is truly passionate about Horizon. So we gonna be friends.
You're gonna get the worst.
That's starting a fight.
Keep messing with his Snow Bunny. You know, Aloy's a Snow Bunny. Don't mess with Snow Bunny.
Listen, she's the only white girl I like. Let me tell you.
he like them redheads.
White girl I like.
He like them redheads.
White girl I like.
Oh shit, he like them redheads.
So let's be friends. Hey, I sent you on DMs.
I got it. First, let me hit up Jenna's super chat, $5. Thank you so much. Oh, Jenna gotta get something off her chest. She said, "On Point for Gamers channel is talking garbage about PlayStation. P-Rock. That channel is ran by a crazy Latina." And Lorene and Latino spewing lie after lie. Oh, them two. Yo, I give them props as a couple. That you know how we talked earlier in the show about the ride or die wife and husband. That's them. They ride or die. You know, she and her husband. Yo, they're gonna talk shit about PlayStation until the channel goes out. Gotta respect it. Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about. You know, he and her. Oh, they're in the cause. It's a family affair.
They're holding that line.
They're holding that line together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I like Buckley.
Like Bonnie and Clyde. Gotta give them that respect. I'm like, oh wow, they're wild. You know, when I saw her talking shit, I'm like, wait a minute, husband and wife online talking shit. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, yo, that's wild. That's some wild shit.
Family affair.
Yeah, they're not playing. They're getting their kids ready. Them kids are growing up. You know, but you're gonna have that one set that's a PlayStation. They're gonna be like, where did we go wrong?
Where did we go wrong?
Yeah, that kid be like, I'm all about great. They be like, I listened to Puerto Rock. He taught me the way. They're like, bad influence.
Bad influence.
You know, that was like the drug dealer on the block that messed up their kid's life. All right, so let me show you how the screen.
They gonna tell you, what do we tell you about being in those YouTube streets?
You stay away from my child, Puerto Rock. I'm like, listen, man, he's hanging out in the wrong hood. You know what I'm saying? We give him the real.
You're a bad influence, man.
That's a bad influence, right? But here we go. M got this one right here. This came out of nowhere.
You started with the fire. I wanted to start with the other one.
No, the other one's a movie though. So we'll do that one last.
Oh, that was a movie.
Yeah, that's the movie.
Okay.
That's not the game. If it was the game, believe me.
Game.
Hell, if that was the game, that would be the only topic we'll be talking. It would be a whole new show. Yeah, that was the movie. But right here, it says right here, Gravity Rush director would like to make a third game and bring the series to PC. And M said, kill this shit immediately. Unless you're going to give it hundreds of millions to do it justice. Otherwise, F out of here. Respectfully.
I agree with that.
He said, so Gravity Rush director Kashiro Toyama has said he would be interested in making a third Gravity Rush game if the opportunity was offered to him. Didn't he leave Japan Studios?
Yeah, wasn't this a motherfucker that was like, hey, I don't want to make big budget games?
Like, yo. Like, I don't know. Like him, he left, Japan Studios, and, Japan Studios closed down. But the news broke out. Sony offered him and the staff more money. They said, hey, we're going to make your studio a AAA studio. And he didn't want to do it. So that's why he left. He didn't want to do AAA gaming. So him and a few other key people left. And Sony's like, then what the hell's left? Might as well take y'all, go to, Osobo, and we're shutting this down. Now that, the full story came out. But like, bro, they were going to give you money. You could have done Gravity Rush and AAA that sucker. Now, when you left, you're saying, oh, I wouldn't mind doing Gravity Rush 3. You could have said, yeah, I want to do Gravity Rush 3, and yes, I'll make it bigger, budget. We're gonna put the bells and whistles. I don't know what to tell ya. The opportunity was there. You can't listen, I'm going to be well, thank God Ramon's not here. You ain't making another third trash like the other two. Like, I'm sorry, bro. Even I tell you, don't do it. Don't even waste time. I would have laughed at him. If I was in charge of Sony, he comes back, hey, let's do Gravity Rush 3. I'm like, how? How much money you want? $10 million. I'm like, get the hell out of here. Minimum $150 million. If you don't want to work with $150 million, I'm not trying to hear it. We're not green lighting that shit. Hell, I didn't even install Gravity Rush 2. Like, nah. We're not doing this. Nah, we're not wasting our time. I'm sorry for hurt people's feelings, but we're not doing that. We're not doing part 3.
Yeah, I have that game. I'm not gonna lie.
I bought it.
Played it
Listen, I bought both of them. I'm like, you know what? Because it was Vita games, right? And I think PlayStation Gravity Rush 2 was before. But everybody was telling me like, bro, the game is hot, fire. And I'm like, you know why? I saw it on the store, both of them. I bought both. I'm like, I just went bow. Gravity Rush into it. Click both, got it. Boom. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try it. Everybody's telling me it's hot. I don't think it is, but you know what? It's cool. I play Gravity Rush. I'm like, what the F is this bullshit? Yo, after an hour, I said, delete. Off the drive. I didn't even download Gravity Rush 2. I said, I'm not downloading this. I'm not even going to waste my time. I don't want to hear, it's improved. How can you improve shit? Like, no. Whatever. I already purchased it. Don't worry about the refund. I don't care.
Hey,
I moved on.
You know what? Gravity Rush 2 was the last time I listened to Jay Barry, man. Hey, listen, Jay Barry, I love you. But the way you cap for this game, bro, you were like,
I think it was Jay Barry that committed.
They haven't even played Gravity Rush. I'm like, you know what? I'm fired up. I'm listening to What's on PlayStation. I'm like, hey, you know what? It's on sale. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna go in here because Jay Barry told me it's a piece of like PlayStation history. It's jewelry. It's legacy. I'm like, all right, let's do this.
Like you ain't a PlayStation fan unless you play Gravity Rush. I'm like, I
want to get my PlayStation card back. You know, like I was like, hey, I'm a real PlayStation fan too. Like, hey, listen, garbage. Okay, garbage. That's what it is. Okay, because people are always like, oh, Emmanuel, you're so hard on like Xbox games. This game is garbage. It's abysmal. It's atrocious. Okay, it is a disease. Bad, I am glad we cut it off rather than let it fester. Like listen,
maybe it was just me, but I'm like, I'd be like, you know what, whatever, all right. it was, man. I'm like, right. And then the last one, but I guess Extreme thought it was a game, but it's not. It's the movie, and this.
Nah, it's not the game, man. I thought it was the game.
No, this one because that's Marcella. It says Blade has been delayed indefinitely. It no longer has a release date.
Marvel Studios.
Yeah, but that's the movie.
The corporation.
That's the movie.
Yeah.
Because you can see the actor. Why he looks like, what you call it? Freaking, oh my God. What's his name? He's on the he came on a podcast, the Nintendo dude. He out here looking like, oh my God, Baron. Why are you looking like Baron in that photo? Look at him.
I've never seen Baron.
This dude, he was on the show.
Have I seen him though?
Yeah, I think you even talked to him. He's always hyping up Nintendo, and
No. But have I seen what he looks like?
Oh, I don't know if you haven't. I mean, maybe. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
My man, looking like Baron did it, but
like.
wow.
Yeah, because I know he's a Nintendo fan.
So no Blade. Oh shit, that's fucked up.
Do you think that's going to affect the game though? Do you think they're gonna be like, hey, listen, we're gonna get this shit out quickly to match the movie, and now we can just take our time?
I don't know. I mean,
because that could be great news. That could be great. Like, they get more time.
Now they get more time to make. I guess. Damn, that's crazy. I was looking forward to that, to see their vision of Blade. I guess they know they creative. Normally it's a creative difference of what they do. I will say this, man. And I'm noticing this is a trend, right? How can I put it? What movie did I see that I'm like, wait a minute, like, fuck, I've seen the rest of it. Give me a second. Fuck, I can't remember, right? But like, I've seen this.
When you catch that,
go ahead.
I want to just ask, has there been a movie worth watching at the movies? Like, when was the last like movie where you were like, yeah, this was worth going to the cinema for?
John Wick.
Wolverine and Deadpool.
Yeah, that's another one too.
Okay. Well, what's another one?
Absolutely.
Top Gun. The last
Top Gun. Oh yeah, Top Gun 2.
Top Gun is so
Maverick.
overrated.
I had to see
Maverick.
that one.
Oh, come on. But you know what? Listen. To be fair, you're not American. You got to be American. You got to be guns, Bible, and God. That's woo! Maverick. Fuck yeah! You're Australian.
Top Gun was freaking awesome.
Yeah, bro. You got to be American. You got to be like.
Literally watching a classroom.
You know what I'm saying?
It's literally.
I don't care.
Watching school happen.
You know, you got to be American.
It's something about watching jets on a big screen with sound.
Just roaring.
It's roaring.
American military might. Just fucking in 4K. You know, it's glorious.
America.
You know?
Flying
America.
to the danger zone.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's go. Tom Cruise doing his own
fire,
stuff.
Like 3 shots in the entire like movie.
What?
They literally fired off 3 missiles. No, maybe 4 or 5. By the time they destroyed that one. The first one is to like break the shield. The second one is to blow up the thing. The third one is to destroy the helicopter. And then the fourth one is to like damage the enemy jet.
Yeah, but
that's literally all the shots.
But it's
fire.
like the speed, and then it's like towards the end they brought the old Tomcat back. That shit was amazing.
Man, that was awesome, man.
You know what it is? What was the movie? You ever seen Rush Hour? And they were in Paris, and they got to the taxi driver. And in the beginning, you Americans, you're in your violence and guns and all this stuff. You're pathetic. But by the end of the movie, he's like, I get it now. I'm a spy. The guns. I get it. You shoot everything. It's amazing. Yeah, you have to get to that point. You know what I'm talking about? He hated America. You're guns and violence and blah, 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 blah. By the end of the movie, he's telling his wife, I am a spy. And she's like, shut up. You're just a stupid cab driver. And he's like, he's all about the guns and the, we have to get you there. We have to get you there, Extreme. We have to get you, we got to have you feel America. You gotta know it's a feeling.
The first Top Gun, and I couldn't finish it. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I was like, I couldn't finish it.
That's classic.
We gotta Americanize you, man. We gotta Americanize you. We gotta get you. We gotta get that feeling.
I didn't even get you him dying. Like I was just like, what the fuck am I watching Classroom for?
Oh man!
And then, these same people are like, oh, I don't want to play Persona 5. Like,
and especially
it's the same thing.
In those times, it was the Russia was the USSR at the time, and it was Russia versus the US type of shit.
Oh man, we gotta get you America.
With the Cold War.
We gotta watch. We gotta force.
I'll give you one of my hoodies.
I like
we gotta force you to watch Team America.
I like the artistry and the technical and the cinematography behind Top Gun Maverick.
Oh yeah,
and the story behind the film way more than I enjoyed the film. Like I honestly don't get what it is.
Oh, you like the technical thing?
I like the cinematography. I like the story. The fact that he tried so hard to make this movie happen, and he really believed in it. And obviously, the people came and supported it. I think he has a better story off screen than he does on screen. Because I'm just like. I'm just watching people go to school. It's literally just school.
Oh man, you just gotta. This is the thing, though. A lot of people in America grew up aspiring to be a pilot. A lot of people.
This is your.
So when you see but when you see that movie, it's
successful. It made money. Listen, what you talking about? We need a part 3.
No, when you look at some of the shots, like you said, you were impressed by some of the cinematography shots in that movie.
Yeah.
that's what people loved about that movie.
Ooh,
just see like the
roar
certain
of the
shots where they,
engine.
like when he was doing the test run, when they were like you said in the classroom and stuff, and he was in the back seat just looking, like watching the pilot that F-18 through Star Wars Canyon and damn near hitting mountains. It looked like so close that he was so close to those mountains, it was ridiculous. And that was all live shot. And that is exciting, bro.
Again, I like that's what I mean. I like the story behind the film way more than I like the actual action on film, because I'm just like, okay, you're going to school, you've got jets, ooh, yay!
And everybody wanted to get shot off a catapult on a aircraft carrier, and watching him do it was pretty cool. So,
yeah, listen, you know the Tom Cruise movies I actually enjoy. Mission Impossibles. Those are the ones
that's
look at this.
That's
look
one.
at this. Look at that. Woo!
The new one comes out. I think it's this holiday. The last one.
Ooh, look at that. Look at that tension. Why are you
again?
doing
Cinematography, great. Every frame is a painting.
Shit. Like
you know?
can see, woo! Like everybody, you can feel. Look at that. Whoa, boy, America, boy, look at that. Whoa, everybody was in that cockpit. Pause with Tom Cruise. Everybody was in there, boy. Everybody was feeling it. Everybody wanted to be in there right now. Listen, all of America was in that plane.
So wait, did Tom Cruise actually fly this plane?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's him flying that plane in that shot. Yeah.
Him and the other actors. I saw like the behind the scenes and stuff like that. Not just him. He made all the actors do it. And they were like, the fuck is he talking about?
That must be fun, though, man.
Yo,
it must be
he
so
does
fun.
not play. That dude's a madman. That dude's insane. And you know what that is? You send an actor to be a pilot, like, no. You actually gonna fly this shit. And I'm like, and you're gonna get like a 4-week crash course.
Yo, speaking of Top Gun, has anybody ever beat the Nintendo version of that game?
No.
Yo,
I
that
didn't
game is so hard,
no,
man.
where it was so hard to land on the aircraft carrier.
I still haven't landed on that motherfucker.
I still never
landed on
that aircraft carrier.
Who landed in the chat?
It's actually easier.
Listen, I never landed on that thing. I never figured it out.
Never
ever.
one time.
Ever. I
They
never
say
passed the
it's actually
level.
easier with the NES Advantage.
I never did it.
Joystick shit.
Never. I never landed. I could say back in my childhood, that was one game I was never able to beat. I was never able to land. I didn't get it. Like, this is impossible. Like, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you gotta find it. You have the old Top Gun on Nintendo. Was it NES or Super NES?
Nintendo.
It was Nintendo.
Nintendo.
I was like, this is impossible. And I tried. And it's the first mission. You beat it.
Yeah.
The last part to end the first mission was just literally land back on an aircraft carrier.
They couldn't do it, bro.
Never did it. Ever.
I need
to. You know why? I need to go back. Because I gotta do it. I can't die and not complete that part. I gotta, you know what? I'm gonna download that shit. I'm gonna do it now. Yo, you know why? You guys brought back that. Remember, I completely forgot about that. You know what? I'm not gonna take that L. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna figure it out.
You know that would be such a beautiful.
I never took that L. I'm gonna do
years
it.
later, you're like, fuck it. It's finally time.
Yo, I'm gonna. You know why? I'm gonna go back to that sucker. Now that you brought it up.
Stream it.
I'm gonna go back. You know, I'm gonna go back. Yo, I completely forgot about. You know what? Fuck you. I'm gonna do it. You think I'm a diner? No, I never was able to do it.
Defeated everybody.
Yo, and I beat Mike Tyson's Punch Out. I did.
Oh shit, that's a hard
But
game,
Top
bro.
Gun, I never did. I never passed the first level because of that damn landing. I'm like, this is impossible. And like, you know what? I'm coming back.
Stream it, I'll watch it.
Yeah, that. Which is the hardest game you ever beat, Porter Rock?
That I beat? The hardest game that I beat, that I ever beat. That was legit hard.
Yo, for me,
I say
on the advanced level.
I would say
Jesus Christ.
Tyson was one.
Oh shit.
Because Mike Tyson was a motherfucker, bro.
Yeah, he still
God, bro. Tyson was on Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Yo, when I beat that dude, I cried, bro. I was like, I got this dude, bro. Yo, I cried. Now, I look at it maybe like a year and a half ago. I looked at, streams of, like videos of people being Tyson, and they whooping his ass, and I'm like, yo, like what the fuck? He was not that easy.
Yeah, no.
There's dudes like no, but they memorized the pattern. But that, I never played Battletoads. I heard that game was super hard, but I never actually played it.
Yeah, I heard it's.
I wasn't into battle. I didn't care about the cartoon or anything, so I never played Battletoads. So I can't say. I just never played it, but I heard that game was stupid hard. Damn, I can't think. What games were super hard back then?
Yo, if you played Hollow Knight is one of them games that is.
Speaking of which, when the fuck is? Speaking of which,
I'll give you Silk Song, right? Where's Silk Song?
Yeah, when the fuck is Silk Song coming out?
Listen, it is made by an Australian studio. If they don't release us news, I will go and bomb them. Like I will find where they are, and I will take them out for you guys.
I was like, this game has been announced for over 5 years, and like, where the hell is it?
Listen. You would think it's a Lost Odyssey or something,
right?
It's terrible. The hardest moment in the game that I've played recently is the Valkyrie Queen in God of War 2018 on the hardest difficulty.
Okay.
He whooped my ass. Like when I see people are like, "Oh, I never fought her." I'm like, "You haven't beaten the."
Oh, you talking about Queen Valkyrie?
Yeah.
The Valkyrie Queen. Yes.
Oh no, no. She knows
on
she has all the
difficulty.
Yeah. Give me God of War. Give me God of War mode. Yeah, that's no joke.
Yeah, give me God of War mode.
That's no joke.
So that was the hardest one. I can kick her ass now pretty easily, but compared to that, people also say that the Valkyrie Queen substitute thing in Ragnarok is harder, and I'm like, I beat her in like 5 tries. Like she was easy peasy compared to Sigrun.
Yo, the truth. You just brought memories, right? Because he mentioned Ghouls and Ghosts and Goblins was one of the harder ones for him.
Ooh,
so they're both the same game, but on Genesis it was Ghouls and Ghosts, right? Ghosts and Goblins was the arcade and I think the Nintendo version, but it's the same game, right? But there's 2 games that I was able to beat without dying on the Genesis. And it's because for whatever reason, I kept playing it to the point when I wanted to play it without dying. 2 games. Ghouls and Ghosts was one of them. I was able to, because you have to play, if I remember correctly, you have to actually play the game twice, right? So you beat the level, then you go back to the beginning, and then you get the special superpower, and then you have to go all the way to the end, right? And I kept playing until I was able to do it without dying, right? And then the second game I was able to beat without dying was Revenge of Shinobi. The one that had I don't know how Sega didn't get sued because they had Godzilla, Batman, and Spider-Man in that goddamn game. Y'all remember that? Mm-hmm. 3 of the bosses in that game was Godzilla, Spider-Man, and Batman. Yo, crazy. They had the knockoff version. But it was clearly them. It was not even, there was no denying who they were. They were the knockoff version, but that's Godzilla, a ninja fighting Godzilla, and then Spider-Man would come down. He even did the classic web thing that he would go down and go down slowly, then he's jumping all around, and then you got Batman, he'd jump on the ground and with his cape and shit. I'm like, holy shit. I don't know how Sega didn't get sued, for copyright infringement. But I kept playing that game to ad nauseum without dying. For whatever, I don't know why I kept playing those 2 games. I don't know why, but I love those games and I kept playing it over. I probably played each of those games 500 times a piece, easily. Over and over, nonstop. And Strider.
You know why?
Oh, I love Strider. But I didn't play as much because I didn't have no money for more games. So
because you were not watching streamers.
Watching streamers, that's why we would play them. But I swear to God, I probably beat that game. And it wasn't I beat it without dying, I put it down. No, I just restarted and played it again. I was playing it over and over. And then if I did get hit or die, I would reset the whole game. I'm like, nope, start over.
That's how I am with shooters.
Those were the 2 games.
Yeah, but the hardest games I've ever beaten was Ninja Gaiden, the whole entire series for Nintendo. 1, 2,
I beat. All right, that's another one. The Ninja Gaiden on the NES. I beat that one. Yes, that game was hard. And
Contra 2-player. That shit is hard. Ooh, that was hard.
Contra 2. I know I beat it. I can't remember.
Yeah, the first Ninja Gaiden. When you beat Contra first player, it's easy. But when you
and Turtles, the was it Super
NES? The NES, yeah,
the NES version. Too. That motherfucker was hard. Turtles.
Yeah.
It wasn't the 4 multiplayer one that you got. It's just the side-scrolling one. That motherfucker. But yes, Ninja Gaiden was another one.
Yeah,
Ninja Gaiden, and I would say Ninja Gaiden Black on Xbox. That motherfucker.
Yeah, that was. I heard
that one was hard. Ninja Gaiden Black. NES Turtle was no joke either. That was hard.
So I looked up a list over here where they have a top 10 hardest games. Okay.
Ooh.
Number 10 is Flappy Bird, which is a mobile game we don't care.
Oh, yeah.
But at number 9,
Flappy Bird.
They have Returnal, and I'm like, Returnal doesn't deserve to be in the top 10 hardest games.
Not the hardest
at all. I don't think so. Like, it's not easy.
In fact, once you got a particular weapon, it became easy.
The Holy Seeker.
Not even the other one.
Oh, the pylon.
The pylon, yeah. The electro pylon.
The pylon is the beast.
Yo,
dude,
tap weapon, instant cheat code.
Never swap it out.
The electro pylon is a wrap.
Yeah, the pylon. Yeah. Those are the two weapons. So I'm just like, we thought it was pretty easy. Then they have the Ninja Gaiden series.
Yeah.
7 is
Black.
Sifu. What do we think about that? I haven't played Sifu yet.
Sifu? On the hardest level, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, on the hardest level.
Number 6, Cuphead.
No. I beat Cuphead.
No?
In fact, that's what made me buy the Xbox One, and I beat it. It's hard, but I wouldn't say hardest of all time.
Okay, then you have Ghosts and Goblins, which you just mentioned before.
Ghosts and Goblins, yeah.
That's number 5. Number 4, Super Meat Boy. Never really bothered with his name.
You know what? Yes. I stopped
playing
it.
But yeah, I never played
that motherfucker, boy. There was like meat grinders everywhere. I'm like, yo, Super Meat Boy's hard. I didn't beat it.
Super Meat Boy. Okay. Then number 3, they have the From Software Souls games. So they have Elden Ring, Dark Souls, Demon
I don't
Souls,
think
and
they're
Bloodborne.
hard. No, especially being that high. No.
Okay. Number 2, Sekiro.
You know what? To me, Sekiro was the hardest out of all of them. Out of all the From Software games, Sekiro.
This game they have is Contra.
Oh yeah,
really? Contra.
I thought
it'd be Battletoads.
Even harder, man.
Because I heard Battletoads was a bitch. I never played it, but I heard so many people telling me about Battletoads.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, definitely not. Oh, this is an interesting one from The Guardian. They have The Simpsons, Konami 1991. Any of you grandfathers over here remember
which
this
one?
The Simpsons from Konami 1991 game.
I don't think I played it. I don't remember.
Your games used to be so hard, man. Like, these people were like, hey, listen, we only have 5 hours worth of content, but you're going to spend 500 hours trying to beat it. Because...
Yo, and that's the thing about those games back in the day. They didn't guide you. You didn't have no strategy guide back in the day. You had to just figure it out. You know? Now you have to just...
Or you had to buy the strategy guides.
Yeah.
They would sell them and shit.
Exactly.
There was no YouTube.
No,
there was nothing like that, man.
No streamers, not living vicariously through them.
All right. All right, that's a good flashback. That was a good memory and stuff like that. But damn, the movie Blade.
Hey, I'm a retro gamer, man, so I love that kind of stuff.
Shit. That's disheartening. Anyway, all right, we're going to do our outros. We'll start out with Forte.
Yeah, definitely, man. Glad to come through and hang out with you guys for at least an hour, man. Always love listening to the show when I'm just sitting here chilling, doing nothing, and appreciate always having the invite as always. Absolutely. And the stream, we ain't gonna fight, bro. Horizon is a good game. It's not bad.
He don't want the smoke.
It's not bad.
No.
He said now you gotta buy the remake.
Me and you are gonna talk. Me and you are gonna talk offline about our thoughts on that game.
Now you have to buy the remake if you want to be friends. If you want to stay friends, now you have to buy the remake.
No,
and play it on the Pro with the Pro upgrades.
All right,
that shit hurt.
All right.
Ooh, yeah. All right, y'all have a good weekend, man. Everybody enjoy themselves this weekend.
Too, man. Thanks a lot, bro.
Appreciate it.
Right,
Thank you.
All right, SNK.
Yeah, man.
Ignoring patience still, huh?
Yeah, man. No. I'm at home. I was just chilling. I was just like, let me show up because I was listening to the show.
Always.
You know what I mean? I just had to stop by. Got my disc drive. I'm so happy about that. In 2 more weeks, we got that PS5 Pro. Can't wait for that bad boy.
All right. Ooh, and you got the hard drive too, right? Oh, you ready?
I got the disc drive. So
ready. We're ready. Oh, that's us right now.
Wait.
Pro Nation United. Yo. All right. Okay.
I can't wait, man.
And then of course we got Extreme, my brother.
Yo, guys, there were a few rants, for you. That was fun to get off my chest. So, it was a fun show. I had fun. It was great to have you. Thank you for having me. And we'll talk to you, I suppose, next week. Given if there are no more tornadoes circling around the United States or whatever. You guys had a fun time of it last time. I heard. You're not in Florida.
No, I'm in California.
You're going to Florida.
Yes, I'm going to Florida next year.
Are you still going after Milton?
Yep. It is what it is. You know, it's the state.
We're
Be
not
safe,
gonna go
bro.
in the path of danger, right? You're gonna stay away from those little.
That's it, man.
Kind of
I'm a daring man. You know, I go against nature.
Okay.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
see, okay.
You know,
you're gonna get that flood insurance.
That's it. Yes, you don't have a choice. Yeah, absolutely. You know, hey, at least I don't pay state taxes. No state taxes. You know, Florida is tax free.
You may want to
state.
check the price of insurance after that thing because they're not gonna be. Not gonna
Hey,
be
I get
easy.
I get USAA. USAA, great insurance for military. You know what I'm saying? So hey.
Oh, you get insurance to the. You get insurance to the.
So there's a your insurance company called USAA for military and government. Yeah. Great price. Like best insurance. Like you can't. Not even Geico. You know what I'm saying? When Geico goes, you can save 15%. They're like, yeah, not USA. We don't count them. We're talking about the other guys.
Yeah, okay.
That guy's good.
So
All
you're
right.
good. You're good.
Oh,
You
yeah,
might
I'm
be the only
good.
one that can afford the house.
I'm good.
Then,
Yeah,
actually.
probably.
That's good.
Probably, yeah.
That's good. Everyone else is like, hey, listen, man, this insurance prices, we're not doing this.
Oh, snap. Okay. All right. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for rocking out. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. To the panels and everybody that came through, thank you so much for coming through. Thank you, Forte, for coming through. Of course, Ramon. Of course, the weekly panel guys, you know, Extreme, J-Dub, Craig out there. Thank you so much. To the chat, thank you so much for coming through, enjoying the conversations. To everybody that came through with the super chats, the memberships and stuff, thank you so much. MASH, once again, thank you so much for gifting, the members, 10 members with memberships. Truly appreciate you coming through and looking out for the community. Hope you enjoyed the show. See you guys. Let's see. So I'll probably drop a video. Hopefully, I'll probably drop a video and schedule it because I'll be out of here this weekend, heading to Atlanta for my graduation ceremony. The schools decided to do it out there. So, I'll probably drop a picture or two on Twitter, whatever. But anyway, you guys take care. I'll try to keep up with some content. But see you next week, next Tuesday, 60 Frames No Lag podcast. Your only friend, these YouTube streets, PorterRock77. You guys take care. Peace. Wait, gotta end the stream.